I mean, it's been a while since I've heard that song.
Yeah, same. Can I just say, I know you guys are going to give me shit for being late.
It gave me a little wood.
But wait, me being late or the song?
Both.
Okay. Can I just say, I feel like I did a lot today, and the fact that I'm even here right now feels like an accomplishment.
Taylor,
just saying.
Usually it's me that's running us late. I'm going to own that. I'm a big fan of owning your shit, and I have to own it. Usually I'm the reason if we're running late. But tonight, I was actually sitting here just twiddling my dick, just waiting for Taylor.
Isn't that like your normal position on things?
And the funny thing is, the pregame meal you picked,
oh God,
such a bad idea.
Guys, I was at Taco Bell waiting in line not even 15 minutes ago.
No, he's texting me. He's like, I'm at Taco Bell. I had to get food. I haven't eaten all day. I'm like, why did you pick Taco Bell? You're going to get the shits in the middle.
Only thing close.
Just
I haven't eaten all day. Like
Dumb and Dumber flows right in the middle of the podcast.
I don't get. I have no adverse reactions to Taco Bell. Okay, I just don't.
Goddamn liar. Listen, and that's what you text me when I said that in the text. You sent back. You're like, I'm not that old, Gramps. I don't fucking have. And I'm like, dude, that shit has destroyed my stomach since I was 15.
Well, maybe you don't. Maybe you're not deserving of a man card.
I mean, I don't think being able to stomach Taco Bell has, dude, the new man card. Woo, son. I won't even get into it, but we've been.
Please don't.
He's like, I'm just gonna get pissed.
Oh! Can I?
We've been working up the mock-ups on the version 2, though. Oh, Jesus, it looks so good.
Can I do something?
Yeah, man, do something.
I don't even remember what these are.
Oh, every time we go in there, they get in somebody's ass.
Yeah. I've not been able to do this since like Thanksgiving.
You know, I have to start.
Patina.
We're not recording anything. You know what? I'm gonna record this shit.
No, you're not. It's okay. You can't get sound bites from me like I get from you.
Oh, I fucking can. I enjoy a good Truly.
Did you see what I posted on Instagram yesterday?
What's that?
This, I posted that as a hashtag for people to use. I enjoy a good Truly.
No, I did not see. I mean, I saw you posted your new decals you dropped
yesterday when I plugged or whatever day it was I posted about the podcast. I said, everybody go show your support for Jeremy by using the hashtag I enjoy a good Truly.
You know, I kind of felt like that because the last video I did was about Screwball whiskey, right? Which is arguably not really whiskey, right? It's technically it's not whiskey, right? It's not 80 proof, so it's not whiskey. And I kind of felt that way doing that video, just because. But the wife got it. You can go watch the video; it was pretty good. It was fun. It was a fun video though, and the shit's not bad. It's really sweet though. I think it's better used as like a mixer of sorts with other whiskey, because by itself that shit is like Zerp.
Okay, I gotta show you.
This is a Friday night hangout, so we will be reading comments most of the night.
Yeah.
I promise you we're going to keep up with all of them because my old man eyes have a hard time reading. But we will be fielding you guys' comments. Welcome back, everybody, by the way. It's good to see everybody back. It's been a little while. We've had some shit, man. It really wasn't our fault. I mean, okay, we got to own our shit. It was, but I mean, there was some shit. There was some shit.
I love it.
What do you love?
Look at I'm screen sharing.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I was looking at the YouTube thing. Yeah, I fucking hate everybody.
I love it. Man card, hashtag I enjoy a good Truly. Hell yeah. This is great. Thank you guys for using the hashtag.
You know what they say, Taylor?
I don't know what they say.
Paybacks are a motherfucker. So there's a bunch of stuff on Instagram with you with like a cock, like in your mouth.
Hey, I've already been hit with the Pink Whitney. Is that what it is? Pink Whitney? I don't even remember. I don't remember what it is.
The pink? Oh, that's right. What the hell was that? That was like
it was a meme from my Discord server.
But you showed that on here like one of the first podcasts we did, wasn't
it? It was the last one we did. Ooh, somebody asked me, where is it? Justin EDC, any new watches? Yeah, I do have one new watch. It's the watch that Jeremy has on his wrist right now. Actually, it's in the other room. I could go get it. It's better than Jeremy's though.
No, it's not. You know why it's not better? Because mine was the OG. I was first.
You didn't even know about that watch until I told you about it.
Doesn't matter.
Hang on, I got to go get it. You guys get to vote. Hang on.
See, here's the thing. Taylor thinks his is better. I won't tell you why he thinks it's better. I say it's personal preference. I won't say what it is because then it'll give away what it is. But I like this color. I got this color because I like this color. He got that color because he likes that color. I don't think either or is better. I think they're just different. I was saying that I don't think either or is better. I think they're just different. You prefer green. I prefer blue.
No, green's better than blue.
But that's like saying fucking. That's an opinion. That's not fact.
Green's better than blue. I don't know what else you want me to say.
So Scotch is better than whiskey.
Scotch is whiskey.
Yeah,
Scotch is whiskey.
Scotch is better than bourbon.
I have to reach around with the other hand.
Oh, marking that.
So hold yours up, Jeremy.
I mean, that's a sexy watch, but I like the dark blue black dial. That's just my preference. I like dark dial watches for the most part. Where is my fucking focus point?
This is my only watch with any kind of color to it.
Where is the focus point? Where is it? There.
We have the same camera.
I know.
One of us knows how to use it.
I couldn't figure out where I had my focus set. Mine's got more of the most important thing. Patina.
Actually, I think I had some accelerated patina.
Well, you do produce patina at a ridiculous rate I've never seen.
I don't know if I can show
blue,
this.
Blue. I'm seeing a lot of blues, bitch. So I'm just saying.
They just like to side with you, but that doesn't make them right.
I mean, look, I like the green. I think the green's hot, right? I prefer dark colored, like blue face watches. The only green watch I've ever really liked was the Kermit. Or not the Kermit.
See, I don't like.
Yeah, the Kermit. Hulk. No, the Hulk. I like the Kermit too, though. The new one. The new one that's got the. I think it's a green bezel, black dial.
Look, I wish I could show this better on camera, but it's got like green patina already.
You said it was turning your wrist.
It was.
You said that you had like some, from the bronze, like turn your wrist. Now I don't know. Maybe my tattoo hides it because mine's over top of tattoo. But I've never had that.
Well, what I'm gonna do, because we're gonna be on here for a few hours, I'm sure. I'm gonna set the time. I'm gonna wear this watch. I'll take off my marathon, and by the end of the podcast, you're gonna see my arm's gonna be green, guaranteed.
Dude, I'm telling you, you have some kind of weird acid rain sweat shit going on. I don't know what. Well, because you rust knives that like I've had for years and never rusted. You're like, yeah, I can't carry that. I rusted it after a week. I'm like, what? I live in fucking Florida by an ocean and I've never rusted this bitch. How are you doing this? It's amazing.
It's my superpower, I guess. I don't know.
I just need to start sending stuff I want patina to you, let you use it for like a week and then send it back. And I don't need to force patina anything.
It's because Taylor is too soft to handle the bronze. Okay, Eric. You're just saying that because you also like blue, and I offended you when I said blue is horrible. He said that, and then he showed me a picture of his AP, which is a blue dial, which, granted, it's probably one of the only blue dial watches I would own.
Yeah.
But green is still better than blue.
Yeah.
Just in case you didn't know that, guys. Green is still better than blue.
I like the green. I told you when you got it, I'm like, it's hot. I do. I really like it.
Well, it's a one of one. That's why I like it.
I'm a blue guy, man. I like blue dial and like black dial watches.
Are you blue dabba dee dabba die?
Do babba dee dabba die? Yes. Dabba dee dabba doo ba dabba dabba dabba.
I have not worn this in a week.
Dude, I will say these Oruses, like the way the clasp is, like you got to work to get them over your hand.
Yeah.
Like most of my watches, I have a lot of clearance when the clasp is open. This bitch, you got to give it a little wiggle.
Just get stuck. Jeremy knows the way. Ugh. Is that another Star Wars reference? Jesus. I quit. I'm done with the podcast.
By the way, did anybody watch oh my God, I just had a fucking complete mini stroke #1 for the podcast. The fucking Marvel show that's been on with Wanda.
WandaVision?
WandaVision. Yeah. Did anybody watch that?
Nope.
Any of you guys? WandaVision? Anybody in the comments? Anybody? The season finale was, or series finale was today, so I won't spoil it for anybody that hasn't seen it. But I thought it was really good. I
have
really
not watched it.
It was good. You should, if you like it. Well, you don't like any of the Marvel shit, though, do you?
I'm just burned out. Okay, so lately, we talked about this in the past episode. Lately, I've not been feeling anything. Like I started Ozark and I was binging the shit out of Ozark and I was enjoying it. And now, like, I sit down, I'm like, I can watch a little bit of YouTube, but one, I haven't had time to do anything. I've been a little busy. We can talk about like where we've been, but I don't have much time to sit down anymore.
Buddy, and that's, and I don't know if everybody knows Supernova show. Yeah, there are lots of people saying they did watch it. Some people are saying they haven't watched it. It's a good show. If you're into the Marvel stuff, I would check it out. Yeah, if for any of you guys that don't know why the podcast has been derailed for, I mean, how long has it been, man? 2 months? Has it been 2 months?
I think our last one was December 8th, which makes it 3 months basically.
Wow. Yeah, that's a long time. But basically, I had 2 deaths in the family. You guys probably knew about one. You might not have known about the second one. I had 2 deaths in the family. Taylor got COVID. His whole family got COVID. He had a baby, and then his baby was in the hospital for like a week.
Yep, and I had to move offices. If you could tell, I'm in a new space.
Right, and he's in a new space. So we had a whole lot of shit.
It was like all at once.
Yeah, it was all at once. And between my stuff going on and his stuff going on, it just it was a shit storm of a few months. But we're fucking past it. I hope I don't lose any more family members anymore. I'm over that.
I hope we don't have any more ER visits with a newborn because that was fucking awful.
Well, at least you guys all got corona, so that's out of your system. At least that's done for you for now. So that's done, and your baby's healthy. The baby's born. So hopefully we can get back into a fucking groove.
Rune King Thor, I absolutely did. It is delicious. Thank you very much. He sent me a bottle of Highland Park Magnus, and it is very good.
Yes. I think is he the one that sent me the bottle of that also? He sent me a different bottle. Somebody sent me a bottle. Somebody on here, or no, was it? Yeah, I think it was on the podcast that somebody sent me a bottle of the Elijah Craig Toasted I was telling you about before the podcast. That shit is fucking delicious. That's actually going to be the next leaf and barrel is going to be Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel with a Sin Compromiso cigar.
I tasted something last Saturday, so almost a week ago now, for the first time, and I was unimpressed. Buffalo Trace. It was just like, okay.
Yeah, man. And here's the thing about that, and you're probably going to piss off some people, and you're going to you're going to make some people really happy. Because here's the thing. When I did my blind taste test that I did on my channel back a while ago, Buffalo Trace came in, I think, fucking dead last, right? And I thought that like half of the whiskey community was going to boycott my channel because it's such a beloved, but I was surprised at the huge number of people that were like, no, dude, that shit's completely fucking overrated. Like,
yeah, I didn't enjoy it that much.
Yeah.
I hated that I took somebody's Buffalo Trace.
Here's the thing.
However, I'll get this over that every time. I just went to the ABC store.
Picked up 1920 the other day. 1920 is excellent. BT is overhyped. Yeah, see, Buffalo Trace is overhyped. I agree. Hey, Jeremy, my condolences on the death. Taylor, thanks, buddy. Yeah, it was a rough couple months. We're getting past it. I appreciate the sentiment, though. Glad to hear litter.
Before I go too far,
some comments while you're
St. Cass said, Taylor, did you ever get the stuff Jeremy was going to send you? No. Any of it.
Well, any of it. I all got derailed because all that shit that happened, and because I was supposed to send you samples because we were going to have the bourbon junkies on and do all that, and then everything fucking blew up. And I mean, literally everything has been on hold for like 3 months. So we're going to get back on that.
This right here. It's always available. Always.
It's cheap.
It's $30.
I think it's far better than Buffalo Trace.
It's delicious. It's so good. This has become my favorite daily. Easy. Like, no question. This one right here is my daily whiskey. Period. I just never tried it because I was like, I don't care. I don't want. It's probably not that good. It's great.
It's
Fantastic.
great. I think it's one of the better budget whiskeys personally. I didn't put it in my
Agreed.
budget showdown because I think it was just right outside of the threshold. I think I wanted to keep it under like I forgot what the threshold was, and I think it was just a little above, or maybe
I think this was like $32 for me today.
yeah, I think I was keeping it under 28. It was like 28 and below in my budget whiskey, and I think that one was like 30 in my area, so I didn't include it. But dude, I'm telling you, if you can get a bottle of that toasted barrel shit, it is fucking delicious.
I'll keep an eye out. I did grab a few other things today because I was there, and I got to build this whiskey wall soon. And yeah, in the new space, I'm building a whiskey wall. It's going to be better than Jeremy's. Just saying. I don't have nearly enough bottles to fill.
It may be in like 5-6 years.
Yeah, Jeremy and I were on the phone probably about a month ago now talking about like how many we were doing math on how many bottles I would need to fill the wall, and it was like 80 to sparsely fill the wall.
Yeah.
And then we did the math on how much that would cost if you average 80 bottles at $40 a piece. That's $3,200 in bourbon or whiskey.
Yeah, I mean, and that's not even buying like crazy bottles. You start getting
that's $40. That's like
right.
Not even this.
You start getting into Octomores and George T. Staggs and shit like that. And
yeah, but I picked up this, which is a local pick from the Bourbon Club of Concord, which is where I live. So this is a single barrel pick from them. Figured I might as well try it because I do like Bullet. It's a good whiskey.
Well, it's a good solid standard.
It's nothing like outstanding, but I figured just might as well give the other a try.
Good
and of course, I had to restock because I finished the last of my Old Foresters. All of them. I have a old, or is it Old Statesman? Just Statesman. Old Forester Statesman. And that was all I had. So
I never can't decide between 1910 and 1920.
I have tried both recently. I prefer the 1920.
Give it a couple months though, and see if
I didn't try them side by side though.
Back and forth, man. Like sometimes I like 1910 for a while, and then all of a sudden I get on a 1920 kick, and then I like that better for a while, and then I go back to they're both excellent.
Well, I also like this a little more because I can buy it.
True.
The store that gets the 1910 around here, I did figure out which store gets 1910. They get 3 bottles every shipment. That's it.
Matter of fact, that time we haven't poured any whiskey yet, which is fucked up.
Somebody was yelling at us for not doing a pocket dump. We did talk about what was on our wrists.
Ooh,
what I was wearing is the Marathon T-SAR. I had a friend of ours reach out to me yesterday asking for watch advice, Jeremy. And I recommended this because they're very hard on equipment, if that tells you who that friend may be. But I don't want to say this name because I don't know. But
I could think of a couple people.
Well, what's in your pocket, Jeremy? I have a feeling it's something different.
Yeah, strangely enough, it's not what some people might think because over the holidays I did get a CRK Chris Reeve knife, which I love. I got the Incosi full size. Love that knife. But since then, I've gotten something else that our friend Peter McKinnon is the one that talked me into getting it because he loved it so much.
Oh, yeah.
The old
TR3 operator.
TR3. I have not taken this out of my pocket since I got it. There's just something about ProTech automatics are just so fucking thwacky.
They are, but we talked about this a while back, right? Their best knife isn't an auto. I said it in my ProTech video.
The Malibu?
Yeah, it's just too good.
The Malibu is such a great knife. But it's funny. I got the Malibu too when I got this. And I carried the Malibu and I carried this. And I've decided that this is a more get her done knife. This knife feels like you could get into some shit with it and it'd be okay. The Malibu feels like a slightly dressier knife, right? It's a little bit more minimal. It's more clean. The handle's a little thinner. It doesn't have as good a grip because it's a smooth handle. I love the Malibu, and it is by far the most fun knife in the world to play with. Like the best action of any knife I think I've ever had. Fantastic.
In my pocket is, you guys can guess because I talked about it in the last 2 videos. That was a really bad flip. Jesus.
Well, it's a front flip. Your front flippers are rough.
Yeah, Chamois. This is the one I customized in the vlog earlier in the week.
Chamois.
That's the production. It's not a real chamois. It's just a production. But this is one of my favorite knives. I would like to get a real chamois at some point, but this is there with like a Sabinza, and in my case, the Umnumzan. It's just exactly what it needs to be without any frills. It's just straightforward, straight to the point, nothing fancy, but just a knife, and it gets the job done really well.
That's dude. I carried that Chris Reeve, that Nkosi, for probably a month without taking it out of my pocket.
And look how fidgety it is. Dude,
nothing's worse than that damn Malibu though. That Malibu, like I have to like make myself put it in my pocket because I'm just like, think.
Yep, I was doing that in this office, and now I'm in an office where there are people around, and I'm sitting there, clack, 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 and I'm like, I wonder if they can hear that.
By the way, what I poured, just in case anybody was asking, was this right here. Can you read that?
Turn it Woodford over. Reserve. Nope, can't read it. It's blurry.
Very fine, rare bourbon. It was their Masters Collection release they did here recently, and it's fucking really good. I really enjoy it. It's funny, Dan and Sean, Bourbon Junkies. Dan really liked it. Sean was on it. I think it's delicious. I love it.
I watched one of their live streams recently, and
those guys crack me up.
There was a guy on there, a guest, who was talking some shit
about who?
About me.
Who was on there? Was it Alec?
It was you.
Oh.
Yeah. Also, we don't normally talk about flashlights or anything, but this has been in my pocket for the last like 4 or 5 days. This thing is fantastic. The Tinny 2 from Nightcore, little itty bitty thing.
Looks like a fucking memory stick.
Yeah, it's not much bigger. It's like the size of a thumb drive.
Yeah,
you see that? It's got 57 hours left.
Holy shit, that's a lot of light.
Well, it's 1 lumen. I don't think that's 1 lumen. That's got to be like 1 lumen per LED. But this thing gets bright, and it'll say like at that level, it's got 2 hours left. Come on. Where you at? See, 2 hours, 21 minutes. And then 200 lumens. And then it does, 500 lumens. This thing's bright as shit.
Somebody says shawarma. Isn't shawarma a food?
Yes.
I kind of want shawarma. I saw somebody talking about it recently, and it looks really good. I've never had shawarma.
What you really want is smegma.
No.
Look it up.
I don't. Definitely do not want schmegma.
So which one do I start with? I know the 1920. I'm not going to drink that. Do I start with this bullet store pick?
What's the proofs?
We got a 94 and 104. So I should probably start 94.
Go 94. I always start low. Like this Woodford here is 45.2, which so 90 proof, 90.4 proof. I like to warm up with stuff a little on the lower side. Warm up to it, then get into it. See, this stuff, man, and every time I talk to Dan, I joke with him. For some reason, I get red runts every time I smell this stuff. You know what a red runt smells like?
Yeah, well, not really, not anymore. Sort of like that fake cherry.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching some of their videos, and when I drink a whiskey, I either like it or I don't. When I drink or smoke a cigar, I either like it or I don't. But you guys are pulling out like toasted marshmallows on a fine summer evening with a gentle breeze. Like,
bro, you get the toasted marshmallows in that Elijah Craig toasted barrel. That motherfucker tastes like s'mores. It is so good. So good. So sweet. It's so good. The longer you drink whiskey, I feel like you get more used to that kind. And, you know, a lot of people think like, when people say and they're getting notes, they're like, oh, I get marshmallows. And then they taste and they're like, it doesn't taste like marshmallows. It tastes like whiskey. I mean, it fucking still tastes like whiskeys. There are nuances, right? It's not like it tastes exactly like a marshmallow. I mean, obviously it's whiskey, but it's got those sweet kind of toasted notes that remind you of marshmallow.
So, Jeremy, somebody asked a little bit earlier, do I have a humidor yet? Yes. And then I ran out of room. So I got one of these little Apache cases from Harbor Freight because they're dirt cheap and I needed more room. So it's got this.
Travel, Taylor's got a 250 count New Air sitting in the room over there. I'm going to give them.
But the reason I'm pulling this out is to show you guys that I have ascended. I can't smoke in here yet, unfortunately.
That's a bummer, bro. You got to get that. You got to sort your shit, son.
But this right here, I have ascended. I have arrived. I have a cigar that I absolutely love.
I forgot. Is that a 52 or a 9?
52 or a 9. Dude, the wrapper's coming undone on this one. It's a number 9. It's not a 52.
I slightly favor the T52 over the 9, but they're both excellent cigars.
We talked about this, and I actually talked about it with the guy who owns the cigar loft. You have, I joke when I say you've destroyed your palate. You haven't destroyed your palate, but you've really you wrote it hard and put it away wet.
Well,
right.
We were talking about that. Who was I talking about that the other day with? I think I was talking to Alec Rubin, or maybe it was Brian. I don't remember who I was talking to, but we were talking about that. Your palate, you'll see. As the longer you smoke, you'll go through progressions, right? That used to be my favorite cigar for a long time, and it's still an excellent cigar. Don't get me wrong.
You were talking about this with me. That's who you're talking about. We were on the phone.
I still love that cigar. It's a great cigar, but your palate does this thing where when I first got into cigars, I had certain cigars I liked. And then I went into this thing where I liked everything to be super robust and crazy hard and strong. And honestly, lately, I found myself going back a little more mild, right? I've been liking a lot of Honduran blends, a lot of Dominican blends, stuff that has Dominican, Honduran, maybe a little bit of Nicaraguan. I've been going back a little to center. I think as you smoke, the longer and years go by, your palate kind of ebbs and flows and does these progressions. So it's interesting because for a while, man, I was a strong, full Nicaraguan puro pepper bomb kind of guy. That's what I liked for a long time. And I still like those, but it's not what I lean into all the time anymore.
I had a pepper bomb recently and I have PTSD from it. No, it wasn't that bad. It was a sun-grown, undercrown sun-grown, that flying pig.
Some of those sun-growns can be really a lot of nicotine too.
See, I've had, one of those flying pigs kind of messed me up. I had a salad for dinner, and then I went and smoked that thing, and it.
Yeah, that's not the kind of cigar you smoke after a salad. That's the kind of cigar you smoke after a steak and a baked potato.
Yeah.
What I mean?
But I hadn't smoked in a while. That was the first one, I think, since my son was born, and I just got Alex was like, I got this, go enjoy a cigar. And I was like, okay, sweet. So I went out on my back porch. It was like 30 degrees and I smoked a cigar. And the whole time I'm just like, I'm cold. I'm not enjoying this. This thing is like kicking my ass, my palate's ass, I guess. And it wasn't that strong of a cigar. It was just the pepper was just like overwhelming in that one, but it wasn't in the one I had before or after that. So that one was like, bam.
Some of them will get patina. I keep this
patina.
Dude, you got to do the one that's like the
patina.
That's nobody. I like the authoritative patina with you on the end. I think that's funny.
You know what I like? I don't know where it is. I think it's right here.
I normally like to drink coffee.
Coffee.
I want that caffeine, baby. And I know this is going to sound super like bouge, but I can't disagree. I enjoy a good Truly if it's within your wheelhouse and something you can, you got the budget for it. Dude, that doesn't even work because it's like you need a budget for Truly. That shit's cheap as fuck. You totally splice together all kinds of shit there to make me look like an asshole.
I can't remember how to.
I like Redwood Empire Lost Monarch. Joe O'Sullivan. I don't know that I've had Lost Monarch. Which is the one I have back there? I've got one somewhere. Hold on.
I had a Rocky Patel recently too.
That man, Monarch.
You talking about a whiskey?
Pretty good.
A truly super coffee patina. Okay, so I figured out how to switch my soundboard. I don't remember what some of these are, so I'm gonna just hit some buttons and see what happens. I just got to relearn my board. You
got a big old butthole if you're putting that big old thing in there, but hey, I'm just saying that thing's got some girth on it, son. I don't even know what we were talking about there.
Where did that clip come from? I know I didn't edit that one. Like that was a real quote.
No, that was a real quote. I could tell.
But I mean, you could definitely get aggressive on your sucking.
Oh man.
Take it easy, long, slow pulls on it, and enjoy it. That's what it's for.
They're too good, Jeremy.
Here's
They're
the
too
problem.
good.
There's so many fucking cigar references when you're talking about smoking a cigar. You're telling somebody how to smoke a cigar properly that could be misconstrued, right?
Maybe.
So I just need to be super careful.
This podcast, that's how I get Jeremy to stop talking so much. I just sound clip everything, and then he's afraid to say anything.
That I'm like, oh Jesus, what is he going to do with this? Somebody asked what cigar I'm smoking. I don't remember what this was. This was the end of something I was smoking earlier. Now I don't remember what it was, but what I'm going to smoke tonight is a Blind Faith, Alec Bradley Blind Faith. I don't
Nice.
think
I
don't think AB's even in here tonight, but I need to make.
No, I saw Chad a second ago though.
Was Chad in here?
Yeah, he was the one that said truly super coffee patina.
Old Chad in the house.
I
almost started smoking.
Let me see that. I was trying to see that band.
That's one of Alec and his brothers' releases, the Blind Faith.
I was going to go to the Cigar Loft tonight and get the LCA drop, and just didn't have time.
You know, Brian didn't send me the LCA drops this month yet. I don't think I've gotten those. There's Chad. He said, here. Chad's my man. I love Chad.
Jeremy, have you tried CAO? I don't know if that's pronounced any certain way.
I have. The one that he listed, the Brasilia, I guess is how you say that. You guys know I'm fucking atrocious at pronouncing names. Is pretty good. I've had several that were pretty good. It's not a brand that I lean into very heavily. I will say that. Nothing wrong with them. The few I've had have been decent. They're just not a brand that really speaks to me, so to speak.
I have one in my humidor at home, but I have not smoked it. I've got several. I bought another rum barrel aged Camacho because I want to just triple check, see if you were crazy or I'm crazy.
Dude, I really don't think that's a terribly strong cigar. I mean, it's not. I mean, maybe you had on an empty stomach or something. I don't like. I mean, I know my meter's kind of fucked up because of the amount of cigars I smoke as far as what's strong and what's not. But I can still generally tell by just like, yeah, this is a mild cigar. No, you know, I mean, it doesn't affect me in that way, but I can still feel it if it's a strong cigar. Like I know when I'm smoking a cigar, I'm like, oh, this one's got some pep to it, buddy. I can tell. And it doesn't make me all nauseous and shaky and weird like it makes some people, but I can still feel it. And that cigar, man, is like, that's like it just doesn't do anything for me. I mean, I love the cigar, so I don't mean it doesn't do anything for me that way. It just doesn't. I mean, I could smoke that thing first thing in the morning on an empty stomach with a cup of coffee and be right as rain.
Well, we were talking about size of cigars and stuff. Going back to this Liga Bravada. So this is a number 9. I smoked one at that JR Cigar Loft or Lounge, the one I showed you, that really bougie one. Went there and I smoked one. It was so good. I was like,
which one?
I'm going to buy a box. The number 9.
Oh, okay, the number 9. Yeah.
I was like, I like that so much. I'm going to buy a box. Like I've had a lot of cigars in the last couple of months, but this one like stands out. So I bought a box and split it with a friend, but I forgot to tell the guy that I ordered the box through what size I wanted. So these are 54 by 7s.
Those are big dogs. That's a couple hours smoke for me. I'm a
slow Yeah, the ones we had were 54 by 6 or 54 by 5. I think it was 5. So I opened up the box and I'm like, oh shit. They didn't fit in my little travel humidor thing, and I was just like, okay. Yep. Like,
all right.
I'll figure this out.
Whenever we get you that humidor I got in there for you, won't have that problem anymore because it can hold whatever you need it to hold.
Yeah, but these out of all the stuff I have, this smells like just so much better. I don't know what it is.
Smoking Patina 1942. That's a good cigar. I'm just reading through some of these comments.
The T52 is even better than the 9. Well, the Cigar Lounge.
Does anybody else have? Is my volume low? Does anybody else having problems hearing me? Because I can crank up the levels if anybody else is having issues. Just if you are, a couple people pipe in and I'll turn it up.
I am not, by the way.
You think it's okay? Let's see. Camacho worth it? I think so. I like Camachos. I mean, they're a little higher, but I've never gotten one that didn't smoke good. The construction's always bang on. I really enjoy them. They're not terribly expensive cigars. Usually they're like in that, $8 to $12 range. Eight's probably a little low. I'd say more like the $10 to $12 range. And I always enjoy them. So I think they're worth it. Not a daily smoker at that price for me. I don't have it like that, but where the fuck did Taylor just go? But I enjoy them. What else we got? T52 is better than number 9s. Yeah, I think T52s are better too, man. But I know a lot of people that like 9s. See, there was the giant gutter in outer space. I think that's the guy that used to be Kick Me in the Crotch with the Banjo or something. I think he changed his name. I think that's a giant gutter in outer space. I think that's who that is. He's saying he likes the T52s better than 9s too.
Well, a lot of people say that.
Yeah, I lean 1552, but they're both great. Have you tried a T52?
I haven't.
Okay.
It just looks a little darker, and most of the darker wrapper cigars I've had, I haven't enjoyed quite as much.
Technically, if I'm not mistaken, the 9 is supposed to be a stronger cigar than the 52. I think.
I mean, I'll try it. I'll try it, but that number 9 was just like
I might have that backwards.
Perfect.
Let's see. Steve Sheehan says, "What about pipes?" I got to be careful the way I word this because, Taylor's not.
I'm not recording.
But yeah, no, how the fuck can I say this without making a soundbite? I enjoy smoking tobacco pipes. I used to smoke them quite a bit. I don't smoke them as much as I used to because they're fiddly, and smoking cigars is just as enjoyable for me with less fiddling about because you don't have to pack and tamp and do all the things. But yeah, man, I like to crank out I gotta be careful how I say that. I like to smoke a pipe occasionally. Matter of fact, I might crank one up tonight. Somebody had commented on Instagram, YouTube. Somebody had commented on one of the social media platforms that I should smoke a pipe tonight. And I was like, I might do that. I might actually crack out the old, I think I got a Dagner pipe back there. It's called a squash tomato. It's a pipe that I really like. And what's that shit called? Brain fart, my favorite tobacco. It's I got a big jar of it back there. Hold on. It's right here. I can't reach it. There it is. Okay. BCA. Lane BCA. Love this shit. I wish you could smell this stuff. It smells like your grandfather's pipe. The pipe tobacco your grandfather used to smoke back in the day?
Nobody in my family smoked, but we had a tobacco farm, but nobody smoked.
How the hell do you have a tobacco farm and nobody smokes? That makes about as much sense as wiping your ass before you poop.
Well, my grandpa did, but he smoked cigarettes.
Oh.
So.
Yeah. It was funny. One of the guys had asked me if I wanted to do a commemorative cigar, one of the cigar brands that I work with. Like, do you want to do a commemorative cigar for your dad? Because, my dad passed away. And I'm like, that sounds like a great idea. And I don't feel that cigars are a risk of this, but being that he died from lung cancer, I feel it would be in poor taste to do a commemorative cigar for a guy who died from lung cancer. So I was like,
it's probably a good call.
I was like, I'll pass on that. I personally do not have that belief in cigars, or I wouldn't be smoking them because you don't inhale them. As long as you're smoking in a well-ventilated area.
Some dude I was talking to recently who was like, yeah, I used to smoke cigars all the time, but I had to stop. And he was talking about inhaling them. Like when he would light up, he's like, and I'm like, oh my God. Like if I get just like a little bit, dude, I cough for like a good 5 minutes. It's no.
Alex just said I'm a little low too, Taylor. So maybe I'll bump it up a little bit. Is that any better? I
think what I hear is different from what other people hear.
Right.
Most likely.
I'll bump her up a good bit there. See if that helps everybody a little bit.
We had our levels set.
Well, it's been a while since we podcasted, and I think I did that live stream with Dan and them since then, and I had to fuck with my levels a little bit there. And I've also been using the Rodecaster in my YouTube videos as my audio interface.
Same.
So I've been dicking around with the levels for a long time. I wasn't using it for anything but the podcast, so they stayed set to what we had them at. But I've been dinking around.
So I started doing the same thing, using it for my videos and stuff. But what I did is track 2 is my shotgun. So I don't ever mess with track 1. So I'd plug in my
sense.
shotgun into a different one, and I have a different EQ for it and stuff.
That actually makes way more sense. I probably should have done that. There is there's 4 channels on that motherfucker, and I only ever use 1 for the podcast. So I've got 3 more mics I could plug into it.
Right. And I sat here and I was messing with the settings to get my shotgun to sound right. And then I was like, fuck, I just messed up all of my podcast settings.
Right. And that's why I might have been a little low, because I've been dinking with it. I need to get those set up again real good. And then, like you said, not fuck with channel 1, use mother America, 4 channels for other stuff.
See, now people are talking about me being too loud, but it's probably from when I messed with this to use it for a video. I think I had to turn up the, you have your slider, but there's also like a gain setting. And like when you go through the mic settings in the.
Yeah. You can actually adjust the gain in the mic settings. Then you have the slider.
Yeah.
2 different ways to do it.
Yeah. What was yours set to? We had them set the same thing at one point.
I mean, I don't remember what the gain inside the thing was. Right now, the slider's almost maxed out. It's 1 from the top.
That's where mine used to be. Just hit the number 1, just real quick. It'll only take a second. Hit number 1 and then hit level.
25.
Oh yeah, mine's at 34.
Yeah, so that might be. I can bump mine up to 34.
Oh, I went down to 25.
Oh, you son of a bitch! Where do you want to put it? Put it somewhere and stay, motherfucker. Where is it?
Let's supposed to go to 30, and 30. Just that'll be good.
30 it is.
Check.
Testes 1 2. Testes 1 2 3.
Yeah. You actually sound better now. So
if you got a third testicle, that's a real problem. Somebody else had asked me what was a good Alec Bradley starter cigar. That was a minute ago, and I forgot to answer. I would go honestly with one of the Alec and Bradley cigars. Him and his brother are doing cigars, and they're all just great. Blind Faith is really good. There's one called a Gatekeeper that's really good. And Alec does not blend cigars. Alec, he's on the podcast sometimes. He doesn't blend cigars to be strong as far as nicotine. His theory is full flavor cigar, but not so much nicotine, because the nicotine just makes people sick. You want a little bit in there because it adds a little bit of spice to the cigar and adds a little bit of something special, but you don't need those huge a bunch of nicotine in a cigar doesn't do anything for the flavor of the cigar. It just sometimes makes people ill. So he's a big fan of not blending too much nicotine, but really full flavored cigars, and they're very good. So Blind Faith would be a good one. Gatekeeper. They just came out with that one, the Kintsugi, which is fucking great. If you can find one of those, very, very good.
I still have only had trouble out of both Alec Bradleys I smoked.
You may have talked about that one night. I don't know why that is. I never have any issues with my Alec Bradleys, and they even like do all kinds of weird testing on their cigars to make sure they burn right. They like light them fucked up on purpose to make sure they catch up and do all kinds of stuff when they get a blend to make sure it burns right. So I don't know why.
Both of mine had like burn issues, and
one of them you were smoking in the fog, right?
Yeah, that one I chalked up to just being outdoors and the fog rolled in and it just would not stay lit. The second one, I was on my porch where I've smoked many cigars now without any issue really, and that one just wouldn't stay lit.
Z-Man.
I think it may have been like pre me figuring out my shit, so I still don't want to chalk it up to it being Alec Bradley. I think it's probably me still.
Z-Man said Magic Toast. Yes, that is an excellent that's an Alec Bradley cigar, not an Alec and Bradley cigar. I mean, it's all kind of the same thing, but that is my favorite coffee cigar. I love a Magic Toast with coffee. It's a great cigar with coffee. Chad said Flash Pocket Dump. We already did our Pocket Dump, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
I think you missed it, Chad. But just for Chad. There you go, buddy. Little ProTech. Where's that fucking
TR3?
Little ProTech TR3.
And I got the Chamois, the old Chamois, as people like to call it. Wow, I can't focus either. I'm turning into Jeremy.
And if you want to go into wallets, I've been carrying this for quite some time.
I have switched to this because I lost my own front pocket wallet. So I dropped a front pocket wallet, like a little slim wallet.
But do you have a wallet that says that?
No, I don't. But I have this little itty bitty thing. And it's really sweet. But I want my wallet, but I don't know what to do with it, and I can't find it anywhere.
That's about as minimal as it gets.
Yeah. I can't carry my cash. So and the pins, sorry, Chad. I'm sorry, but today I got the old tactile turn slim bolt action and Zerk.
You know, I don't carry a pen EDC anymore. Sorry, Chad. I love you. And here's the thing. I will go back to carrying a pen EDC at some point. But right now, with as much as I'm home, like I just don't have a need because I'm always near.
He doesn't have a place to put it in his boxers, okay?
I mean, I'm always at my desk at home, and the pen that I always have at my desk is my EDC, my Pocket Pro, or my Click. It's a Click EDC, actually, the one I've been using lately, which is a big idea design pen. But I just don't need to carry it because I'm always at my desk. Like I don't go out like I used to because of, well, you know, Rona.
What he's trying to say is that he got tired of Keister carrying a pen.
I actually enjoyed carrying Keister carry. I didn't do that as out of necessity. I did that out of just pleasure.
Well, there you go.
No, honestly, me and Pete were talking about this not too long ago. My EDC over the past, like I didn't do an EDC update after, I guess, my summer update last year or whatever, because my EDC has literally gone to a pocket knife and my wallet, which I don't know why I carry my wallet because I'm at home, but it's just a habit. I put it in there. And a Zippo in my Zippo pocket. I call it a Zippo pocket because the Zippo fits in there just perfect. You call it what do you call it? A multi-purpose pocket or some shit?
Fifth pocket, like most people.
Okay. I always have a Zippo in that pocket because, well, I smoke cigars. So I do keep that in there. And then I have my Mighty Hank that you sent me in my back pocket. My EDC is like really boring because I'm home. Like I don't need to carry a bunch of shit.
Well, I don't work from home, so I still have everything, but this stays in the fifth pocket for me. The old TPT slide. Because it's still the best thing for just tearing down boxes.
Dude, my wife, you know, it's funny. You don't think of the ladies when you think of EDC very often, but she loves that fucking thing. She loves those.
Now, I got this. This is in my pocket today because it came in the mail. This is like, if you want to go full force utility knife, these things are, it's a beast.
I mean, that's almost like a size box cutter.
But it's got the old skull tip. So yeah, it's bigger than I would typically carry, but I'm gathering other utility knives for a video. But the this thing is definitely something.
God damn, this stuff's good.
Jeremy Sayers open to butt carry. Nice. Well, I should have flagged that.
About me Keister carrying a pen? Is that what you're talking about?
Question for Jeremy. There you go. Did you have to develop an Nkosi thumb like Taylor did with his Umnum? Please ask live.
You know, it didn't bother me that bad. The one thing that surprised me about a Chris Reeve knife that I wasn't expecting because of and maybe it's just the Nkosi, because the Nkosi has those fucking huge washers in it, right? The phosphor bronze bushings in there are ginormous, and they got the little holes in them that, like, anyway, I'm not going to get into that. Look up an Nkosi and how those bushings are in there, but it feels like two pieces of glass sliding against each other. It's probably one of the smoothest knives I have, right? Like
all of them are, though.
Butter, but it doesn't really flip very easily, right? Like it doesn't. And I watched a couple of videos and guys talked about, especially the Nkosis like that, because they have bigger washers than the other knives. It's more of like a roll out kind of knife. You can flick it, but you have to do a little wrist snap. It's almost like it has hydraulics in it.
This guy is sitting here talking about about the Nkosi, but the Umnum is easily Chris Reeve's, like the Chris Reeve knife that demolishes thumbs and is hardest to open. Like I handed it to several people and they couldn't open it.
Well, that's because the detent's super strong, right? The detent's not super strong on the Nkosi. That's the thing is that I watched the whole video about it because I was like, man, is my knife fucked up? And they're like, no, we didn't want that knife to be like flacked out all the time. That's not what it's meant for. It's just supposed to be a nice smooth open. And it's the smoothest knife I have. And don't get me wrong, you can clack it, but it requires a little bit of a wrist flick, like just a little bit of wrist flick. Oh, but I like it.
The only knife I've ever encountered that needs a wrist flick was a Gerber that was supposed to be a flipper that had such bad detent that no matter how hard you'd hit it, I hit it on a table on the flipper tab trying to get it to pop open. Nothing. Like the only way to get that knife open was to wrist flick it. But Chris Reeve, nah. You can Spidey flick them and all stuff all day long. You can't.
Nkosi, try it. You've never had one. I'm telling you, try it. It's a different. I had to look up a whole thing about it, man, because I thought the same thing, and people said the Nkosi is different than the other.
They say the same thing about the Sabenza, though. They're like, it's hydraulic and it's not supposed to flip open, but you can flip them open.
You can. It requires, I love it when Taylor argues about something when I've got the fucking knife and he doesn't. Don't you love it when somebody argues?
You just have weak hands. It's okay. That's why he has to use a Protect, because he can't flick knives open. So he has to, get one that does it for him.
Arguing with me about the other day. She was arguing about something. She had no clue what she was talking about. And she was I'm like, have you ever done it? She's like, well, no. I'm like, so then how the fuck are you going to argue with me about it? It's amazing. Taylor's my internet wife.
I've owned a lot of knives. Just saying.
What have you owned in Nkosi?
Yeah. Well, no, but.
And we get to the crux of the matter.
I'm just saying, most people struggle to flip open an Onewheels, but you can do it.
No, I have knives. Dude, I had a custom knife somebody sent me that it about split the end of my thumb trying to open it. Like
the Onewheels did. It took a month and a half for it to grow back.
It peeled my fingernail back, the meat of the thumb. It fucked my thumb up trying to open it. The Nkosi is not that hard to open. It did not give me a sore thumb opening it, because the detent was not that strong.
Sabenza thumb isn't because the detent is strong. Sabenza thumb is because the freaking thumb stud is super pointy and it hurts.
See, I didn't find it to be that pointy either. See, I was really worried about that, but it's rounded on the end, right? I thought it came to a sharp point before.
No, it's like a rounded point, like a pyramid with a round tip. Yeah.
And I mean, maybe it's the way I open a knife. Maybe I'm pushing on the side more than on the top, but yeah, it didn't really fuck my thumb up that bad.
Well, the Onewheels, what's worse about it than the thumb stud's super rounded on the Onewheels, but the lock bar is what really destroys your thumb with that knife, because the lock bar is so strong.
Hey, read what Chad just said right there.
Yeah, Chad, you just got those weak hands just like Jeremy. It's okay. It's okay.
Hold on. Maybe common denominator. Maybe because you haven't had one, you don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying. Maybe.
Hey, well, buy me one and I'll try it and I'll prove you wrong.
Well, I mean, I flick mine open all the time, but it does require a little.
Nah, I cringe every time I see anybody put a little wrist action on it. It kills me. In fact, people have had to do that to my Onewheels, and I'm just like, stop. You just have to have the right thumb strength. That's all. You need to be doing some lifts with your thumb, and then you'll be able to do it.
Okay.
Now, one thing that I've not been able to do that I am going to do at some point is Spidey flick the Zahn.
Oh, the Onewheels?
Dude, I was doing a live stream on Instagram one night and somebody told me to do it, and I tried it 3 times and I bruised my underneath my fingernail. And the blade never moved. It just fucking hurt.
Chad says he's going to mail you his so you can prove us wrong.
I'll do it. I'm calling your bluff, Chad.
Here's the thing. You may get it to flick open, but it's going to be a weak ass flick without any clack. Because I can get it to open, but it's slow. It's shit. If you just give it just a little bit of flick, it goes right open. Little flick.
Guaranteed, it'll fly open. Guaranteed.
This guy.
Here, look, I'll show you my Sabenza. So don't say anything else.
You can't compare a Sabenza. It's a different knife. This guy, Chad. I'm going to choke the shit out of this guy. You're going to have to save him. I'm going to show him my hand strength on his trachea. Let's see. What we got comment? When SV90. Fuck, I wish I could see the comments better. Do I have any? Yeah, you know, I don't really love front flippers. They're okay. Oh shit. They're okay, but I don't love front flipper knives. They're all right. I do have a couple front flippers, and I have a couple that are flippers and it's like a flip or a front flip. But yeah, I don't it's kind of awkward front flippers. The only front flipper I've ever really, really wanted bad was that fucking one that Taylor had. What the hell was that front flipper you had? Yeah, dude, that knife. Oof. Oof.
It's funny you should say that because I think it's right here.
Yeah, dude, it's just such a fucking creamy look. Like when you flick that, it just seems like I don't like many front flippers, but that one just seems like, and you can flip that one from the back too, can't you? Yeah,
over the top.
See, that's just so clean, man. It's just so just tink. See, it's how hot that thing comes out hot. Comes out hot. Just make me smoke that like Texas Lancero. 1,000 concurrent. You guys got a long way to go.
He was saying, "Do it if I can flick the Incosi."
No, we're not doing that. 1,000 concurrent. That's the deal.
See that? It's a Sabenza.
It's a Sabenza though. People flick Sabenzas all day, all day. I'm telling you, the Incosi is supposedly a different thing because of the washers they put in it.
Yeah, this one's a different thing.
I'm telling you, the washers in the Incosi are bigger than the washers in that one. Supposedly, the Incosi has the biggest washers of any Chris Reeve knife.
You sound like I'm not even going to say it. It's gonna cause trouble. I'm not even going to say it.
I'm just saying. I'm only telling you what the folks on the internet tell me.
Oh well, yeah. If it's on the internet, it's true, right?
I mean, it's got to be. Where else do I?
It is possible that everybody just has weak hands.
I mean, it could be. We're all just a bunch of weak-handed bitches.
Because this is tough. Look at my thumb now. I have a dent in the top of my thumb.
Look, Chad's like, I'm mailing that shit tomorrow. And you know, Chad, when he says he's mailing something tomorrow, it'll get in the mail. You'll have it. You'll have it Monday.
I will shoot a video the moment it comes in.
Oh shit.
And I'll post it on Instagram. I'll call you out.
Hey man, go for it, baby. All the better for you. All the better to you. Let's see what a Taylor Texas Lancero, and he's saying you'll have to smoke it if you can't flick it. So I'm just saying.
I don't have a Texas Lancero, but I do have an LFD, which is just about as bad.
I don't think anything's as bad as that Texas Lancero, man. That thing is as phallic as I've ever seen in a cigar, except for that one that you sent me a picture of that was like
the Woody.
Dude, that thing was like a Louisville Slugger. It was literally like 32 inches. I mean, didn't that guy say?
Still waiting on that Spidey flick. This knife, if anybody can Spidey flick this, I would be highly, highly impressed because this hurts like hell just trying it. I can't even move it. Look at my middle finger. It's white now.
David Stewart says Chad mails stuff faster than Jeremy. Yeah, Chad mails. That's not even a competition. Okay, that's like Usain Bolt racing. What was the guy that was in? That was the guy that Stephen Hawkins. Okay, that's like Stephen Hawkins and Usain Bolt being in a fucking race. It's not even a fair thing.
It took Jeremy a year to send me one package.
You know what I'm saying?
I could have walked there and back faster.
I would not disagree with that at all. I mean, I cannot debate that one bit. I'm horrible at shipping stuff, which is why I don't ship any of my merch. I work with Chad because it wouldn't be good if I did it.
God, that hurts so bad. I can't even try it anymore.
Dude, you know how long it took me to get a Spidey flick down? And it wasn't the pressure. It was like getting the grip right to Spidey flick things. Like it just, for some reason, my hand, now that I do it, it's like second nature. And I can't believe I didn't know how to do it. But man, it just took me a minute to like get that muscle memory down.
Yeah, see, somebody said Spidey flick the wear. That's easy. The wear knife is very easy to Spidey flick. It's got a strong detent, but
See, I think strong detents help with the flick.
yeah, they do.
Because then when it breaks loose, that bitch is like flop.
Ow. Yeah, I can Spidey flick every knife I have that is, has a way to Spidey flick it. Except this. This is the only one, and I can barely thumb flick this sometimes because it's so strong.
You know what bums me out is that, remember when Pete got that Sabenza and he got the Spidey hole drilled in it?
And it was jacked up?
Yeah, man, because I think a Sabenza with a Spidey hole sounds like the coolest thing ever because I love a Spidey hole.
The problem with every single one of them is that there's not enough space on the lock bar here.
For the Spidey hole to get in there?
Yeah, so there's a big enough hole up here so you can thumb flick it, but there's not enough of a cutout on the lock bar.
See, that's
you can barely get in there. You can still do it, but you can barely get in there.
I just love a good Spidey hole, man. I prefer that as an opening mechanism over a thumb stud.
But the solution is for everybody to just get a Nirvana.
No, the Nirvana is a clean looking knife, dude. That's a nice. Or the solution to all this is you just fucking get an auto. And then you don't have to. Hey, can somebody explain this to me? Why are autos illegal in certain areas?
Because they're seen as dangerous or more dangerous.
Here's the thing. I can deploy a flipper or a spider coat just as fast as an auto.
Or an Umnum.
Right. Like that comes out like it's just as fast. I cannot stab anybody any faster with this than I could with my Chris Reeve.
It's because it's more scary.
But isn't that the most just illogical, just pandering to the most dumb shit? I mean, come on.
Not even just autos, OTFs.
Yeah.
Why are they illegal? Because like the only thing I can think of is that someone at some point thought you could like deploy the knife and into someone.
But you can't. It has safeties on it, so it doesn't stab you in the fucking leg.
Well, the springs just aren't strong enough to do that anyway.
Right.
I don't think they make a spring that small strong enough.
Well, they do. Are those knives real? The ballistic knives? Is that a real thing?
Yeah.
The ones like shoot out. Now, but that's a different situation altogether.
That's a very different situation. You don't have to stop that blade. It just goes. It's
like a crossbow with a pew. But the other thing I don't understand is, and even to me more ignorant, is okay, it can be an auto if it's under 2 inches. Okay, so I can't cut your throat with a 2-inch blade. Like I don't understand the rational.
It's smaller, so it's less scary.
Yeah, but scary does not change.
Luke has a point.
What?
You talk about the tough knife laws. Try living in the UK,
buddy. I've heard.
Have you seen?
Knife laws. It is fucking ridiculous, bro.
Have you seen the memes?
Man, Jesus, you guys can't carry a fucking butter knife.
Yeah, have you seen the memes? It's not even real memes. Like not even memes. It's real stuff. Like police posting to Facebook. They're like, got these dangerous weapons off the street, and there's a picture of a fucking spoon. Like, I'm not joking. Hang on, like I gotta show you.
Knife.
Yeah, I'm not joking. It's real.
But I mean, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, not to mention the fact, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be wrong about this, but most knife crimes are committed with kitchen knives.
Yeah, fixed blade, like steak knives, or steak knives and butcher knives and things.
Right.
Like that.
So it's like, I don't understand. I feel like sometimes people just want to make rules and laws just for the sake of making rules and laws. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I mean, what are you going to make spoons illegal? You're going to make kitchen knives illegal? You can't cut your fucking vegetables at home anymore because kitchen knives are officially illegal.
British police station mocked for tweeting photo of dangerous knife collection that includes a spoon.
Yeah, man. Like what? Yeah, that's a legit. Well, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that one thing? Is that like a fencing knife? Sword? Like, who's gonna kill somebody with a fencing sword? Like, hey, if you get mugged with a fencing sword, you deserve to get mugged, okay? Because you need to smack that bitch in the face and take that fucking fencing sword from him.
Dangerous knives and a rusty spoon.
Oh, wow. Wow.
That's just one example. There's I can't remember exactly where it is. Let's see if I can find it. You have to have like, or maybe be over 18 to buy plastic cutlery.
Yeah, man. It's just some of the laws they put out there just don't make sense, bud. It just doesn't make sense. And I don't want to get into anything that even is remotely close to political, so you have to be careful. But like that shit just seems silly to me. It's silly. I don't, doesn't make sense. Oh, I can't carry a pocket knife. Okay, well then I'll just go get my fucking 9-inch chef knife, which is way more deadly than a pocket knife, and stab somebody with that.
There it is. It says, no proof, no purchase. It is against the law for anyone under 18 to buy a knife.
That's plastic cutlery. Wow. Wow. Yeah. Rusty spoon. Is that like a rusty trombone?
Oh boy. I hope not.
What is a rusty trombone? Wait, isn't that?
You're trying to get us kicked off YouTube, man.
Okay, never mind. I won't go there.
It is a sex act.
it is, but I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. What does it? Chad say? The UK on non-locking under 3-inch law is odd for sure. Yeah, it doesn't. That's my thing about the lot of the knife laws is, to me, they're just not logical, right? Like it just, I don't have a problem.
Also, knives that are non-locking are more dangerous to the user. Just saying. Like this knife, I don't even know what this is from. Is the Appalachian Drifter from Civivi.
Yeah, you probably don't want to stab somebody with something that might close on your fingers, because you're going to end up.
It does have a nice little ring to it.
You're going to end up losing a couple digits and giving them a flesh wound.
Yeah,
losing a finger is going to be much worse than the shallow cut you're going to give them.
Yeah, no, and that's why I don't really carry non-locking knives unless it's just like a Swiss Army knife, and the only thing I ever use it for is like cutting an apple or something.
Yeah, I mean, I love slip joints just because they feel kind of old school, and I kind of like opening them and the whole feel of them and stuff. But man, I don't use them for anything but food prep because they scare me for a lot of other stuff. I mean, I'll open like a package with them or something, but like I'm not doing anything even remotely hard use with a slip joint because I'm always afraid it's going to close on my finger.
You need you one of these,
America. Oh, that's that one. Isn't that one that somebody sent you? Oh, dude, by the way.
I bought this one.
Fucking
this knife right here.
What's the knife company? The knife sharpening company?
Worksharp.
They sent me one of those electric jobs. It looks like a fucking belt sander, but it's like, yeah. Dude, this thing is great for sharpening kitchen knives.
Oh, yeah. It'll also don't sharpen anything after you've had some drinks.
No, I remember you fucked a knife totally up with that.
I fucked up a pena.
Oh shit!
Yeah, but this thing right here, a backlock traditional with a thumb stud.
Yeah, that's nice.
Dude, this knife. It was also not cheap.
Alabama Hot Pocket. Hey, Craig or Greg.
Nice.
But no, they sent me that thing, and now I will say, like on like a Chris Reeve knife or something, I'll probably bust out my fixed angle like stone sharpener that I like to use and stuff. Worksharp sent me a fixed angle sharpener too that I might try. I don't know that I would use that like electric belt sanding thing on like one of my more expensive knives, but for like kitchen knives and stuff, dude, I sharpened all my kitchen knives in like 5 minutes, and they're like sharp as fuck. And normally it takes me a while because I was using my fixed angle sharpener on those too before, and it just takes forever because you got so many kitchen knives and they're big. It's just a pain in the ass. That thing,
especially if your kitchen knives have chips in them and stuff.
Yeah, dude, and you got that thing, man. You just switch sides, and them things will shaved dolphin hair.
So the only thing I've ever had from Bullet is the standard and the rye. So
I have their 10-year. Their 10-year is pretty good. I've had their standard. I don't really like their rye. That's actually probably the one Bullet product that I'm not a fan of.
Yeah, we talked about that after you told me it tastes like straight up eucalyptus.
Yeah, it does. You tasted it, didn't you? And you couldn't not taste it after I told you.
I still like it, but like now I have to want that to drink it.
Yeah, it reminds me of like Icy Hot or something. Like it reminds me of that was a good bottle pop. It reminds me a lot of eucalyptus, and I'm not into it. Have I missed the Truly yet? No, we haven't busted out any Truly. Although Taylor has. I normally like to drink coffee. I want that caffeine, baby. And I know this is going to sound super like bouge, but I can't disagree. I enjoy a good Truly if it's within your wheelhouse and something you can, you got the budget for it.
Now, you said that the budget thing doesn't make sense, but I think it does because you need so much Truly that you could spend a whole lot on it.
You probably would. I don't think it's very strong. So
it's 5%.
If you were trying to catch a buzz on it, you'd have to drink. See, I don't drink to catch a buzz though. And I know a lot of people are like, what? And I'm like, I drink because I legitimately enjoy the flavor. I rarely ever catch a buzz when I'm drinking. Sometimes on here I do because we get to drink a little fast and I get carried away. But like most time at night when I have a pour or two of whiskey, I drink 2 pours of whiskey over a 2.5 hour span. You're not going to get a buzz on that.
You can definitely tell this one's hotter than the other. It's not bad though. It's good.
That was a store pick, right? It was like
not a store pick, but it was hand selected, like the Bourbon Club of Concord.
Yeah, I have a Old Forester single barrel store pick that is,
this is a single barrel.
It's one of my favorite Old Foresters I have, man. I love it. The black bottle, the 90 proofs. They don't make them anymore. They stopped doing the 90 proofers.
I wonder what it would be like to drink this out of a different glass, though. Maybe like a smaller one with little rounded sides. Not a Glencairn. I've got Glencairns. I'm talking about your tumbler.
Chad, will you please send Taylor a tumbler?
I've been harassing you for like 3 months.
I keep forgetting. Just please send Taylor a tumbler, please. I know we have a few left. We're almost out of them. We're about to do version 2 of those pretty soon. We're going to change the bottom stamp up a little bit. We're going to keep the cup the same size because I worked very hard on getting this shape the way that I wanted it. But we're going to change up the stamp on the bottom. I think we're going to do some version of a skull logo on the bottom of them and order another round of them because we're about out of those. But Chad, please, if you remember Monday, bud, send him a tumbler.
Just send it with the Nkosi.
And a Zippo.
And
you want a Zippo?
Yeah. What's the most expensive whiskey in your collection? I know Jeremy's. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Which one?
It was one from that Scotch malt whiskeys.
Oh yeah, that is probably actually because I was going to say Octomore because Octomore I have one.
That's the most expensive one you've bought.
The most expensive one I bought was an Octomore that was like $350. The most expensive one I have was one of the ones that the Scotch malt whiskey guy sent me. It was from their Vaults collection. It's called What a Song and Dance. It's a 26-year single malt Scotch and 26-year single malt, and I think it's about $750 or $800. Yeah, wow. But they sent that to me. I didn't pay for that.
Hey, Chad, while you're at it, send Jeremy some decals, some of those emblems, but write "I heart Truly" on all of them in Sharpening. and then before you ship them, clear coat them, please.
Hey, is there any way I could fit one of those on my Yeti? Or are they way too thick?
They're too thick. They're
too thick. I don't know where they are. I think it would be cool to make something like that for a Yeti.
Hang on.
Because a lot of people do a lot of you guys use Yetis on your day-to-day? Like, is that a thing? My Yeti is with me all the time with water. Like, this thing is always with me. And I think it would be cool to have one. Like is it on this cup? No, it's on my coffee cup.
Yeah, so like I put it on the side panel of my truck.
Did these metal stickers that were really kind of nice.
Yeah, those are nice. I found mine the other day.
The metal ones that are like they're hard to put on because they're like foil, so they'll wrinkle if you're not careful. But man, they're They feel like it's part of the cup when you put them on there. They're really nice.
That's what I was talking about. I actually have some merch that I can plug. Look at this. First time ever. I have a hat. Look at my hat.
Plug. Let's see it. Come on.
I got my merch. Like I'm merched out, man.
Taylor, I'm going to shut up. I'm going to give you the complete floor. Let's see it. Come on.
Guys, whenever we like start planning for another episode of the podcast, I normally end up, doing all the back end stuff, taking the photos, doing everything. So I'm like, hey, 5 minutes. Can you just take a photo for me? Because you've got the setup, you got more whiskey, you got more cigars, more everything. And I left all my cigars at home. Can you just grab some stuff for me? 3 days later, he's like, yeah. 5 minutes. I got it. So then he goes through his old photos and every time he sends me a photo, it's just like merch. Everything in the photo is just like this whiskey glass, the man card, the ashtray, like everything.
Well, in my defense, let me quickly say this. It's what I use, right? Like I drink out of my whiskey glasses because I designed them and I like them, right? I use my ashtray when I'm smoking cigars. I use my Zippos. I truly use all the stuff that I make because that's why I made it, because I really love it. So like when I take photos of whiskey and stuff and cigars, obviously the ashtray that I use with the cigar in it is going to be my ashtray because that's the fucking ashtray I use every day. So, I mean, in my defense, I'm not shamelessly plugging my shit. It's the stuff that I really use.
Just saying, I just haven't had anything to throw in. He truly uses it. Yes, he truly uses it.
Yes, thank you, Chris.
But these are on the site right now, so they're metal emblems.
Those are actually metal. They're not like nice, dude. Nice. I like it.
So I have a Carry Commission logo and a Best M EDC. There are fewer Carry Commission ones, but at least there were when we started. But I put this on my truck, on the side of my truck, and there's just a
picture you took, by the way.
Thanks.
It's this picture. It was go ahead, keep talking. I'll look it up.
There's just a tiny curve in that body panel, and the bottom part of the emblem isn't like touching at all. But this right here, this 3M adhesive, whenever you pick a spot to put one of these things on, make sure you pick the right spot and you get it straight, because that shit's not coming off.
Dude, that's like the these legs that I put on the bottom of my laptop. They're like little legs that like attach, but they fold out. They're like metal and they fold out so you can lift the top up to angle it or let it breathe a little bit. And on the thing, they're like, it's probably the same adhesive, because they said on there, like, make sure you line it up right, because once it's on, you're not getting it off. Like, it's not easy to get off.
Yeah, Chad said he put one on like a shelf just to test it out, and he couldn't get it off the shelf.
That shot right there. I just think that's a good shot. I don't know what it is. I like dark shots like that, and there's like the rain on the truck. I don't know. When I saw that, I'm like,
top of red.
And it's got the depth because you shot it at an angle. You didn't just shoot it straight on, which would have been boring as fuck. You shot it, at an angle, so you got a little depth of field in there, and I'm feeling it, bro. I was like, God damn, that's a fucking crispy looking shot.
Well, I was trying to defocus the Carry Commission one because I didn't know if we were going to drop the Carry Commission ones. But
the reason I say I wish they fit, because a lot of people said they carry their Yeti every day. I would love something like that to put on my Yeti, because I mean, my Yeti is with me all the time. Like
almost works as almost. It's too small.
Hey.
Always be plugging, Jeremy. Always be plugging.
Whiskey hats. Hey, they have a little rim in them, so they fit on top of the Glencairn. They stay on there so they don't come off because of the little lip. I don't know when we're dropping those, but those are soon. You know what? Next Friday.
Hey, Chad, just go ahead and throw one of those in there too.
Next Friday. You
think I'm kidding, Chad?
The glass flasks. Those will be dropping next Friday. I wanted a glass flask because any of you guys who are whiskey guys, glass is the best thing to keep your whiskey in because it does not taint the flavor. So if you don't finish what's in the flask, you can leave it in there. You leave whiskey in a normal flask and it just tastes like shit after a while. This doesn't. And it comes. You can get it just by itself with the glass, or we're gonna sell these little leather sleeves for them too.
Oh my Lord!
What are you doing over there, son?
I put this on the Pelican,
and it's done. It's done.
There's no getting that off. It's peeling my nails are bending back. I might as well put this one on there too. I was trying to think of other stuff to put. Somebody said I'm putting one on my pen case, and I was like, oh, I've got my knife case right here.
Rune King Thor asked Patreon first. Yeah, I always drop everything to my Patreon first, just to give you guys first crack. Sometimes I give you guys first crack because I'm afraid they might sell out because we don't have a lot of them. Other times I just give you first crack so that you'll get them first. With those, I don't think they're going to sell out in the Patreon. There's because I think we have quite a few of those, so we're going to release them to the Patreon first. But everybody else should get at least some form of crack at getting one because we have quite a few of them. Dude, that's that fucking scam, bro.
That stuff is.
Dude, some of that 3 adhesive, I don't know what that shit is, but it's nice, dude. So you put them on the. Yeah, see, I'm thinking because here's the thing. You asked me if I wanted something, I would love to, but my truck is tired as fuck, right? Like this year, I'll probably be buying me a new truck. The clear coat's fucking flaking off. It's a 2010 Chevy Silverado. It's got like 120,000 miles on it. That thing's been rode hard and put away wet. I would feel bad putting those pretty decals on that raggedy ass truck. So I was trying to think of another way I could use them. I'll
tell you what, you can buy my truck and it comes with the decals on it.
I do think this will be the year truck because I think what I'm gonna do is get the truck repainted and fix it up for I have a son that's about to turn 16 this year, and I think I'm gonna give him my truck because honestly, you don't want to give a 16-year-old kid anything too nice because they're probably gonna wreck that shit. So I'm gonna fix it up a little bit for him and probably give him my truck and buy a new truck later this year, maybe mid to late summer ish.
Well, I know of one that will be for sale.
We might get rid of it before then.
Actually, yeah. Well, if anybody wants an AT4, make an offer. I love my truck and I don't want to sell it, but I bought it for a specific reason and I can't use my truck for the reason I bought it. So I'm working on some stuff. I owe less on the truck than what it's worth. So I could just like step into a new one and just be done with it, you know?
I feel you. Chad, do you remember what the price of the Flask is going to be? Do you want to say that? A bunch of people are asking, and I can't remember what we decided the price was on them. I don't remember.
Here you go. Look at that. Decals on the fridge behind you. I'll tell you what, I'll give you $5 to stick it on your forehead.
No, if you rip fucking skin off, I'll have like no skin on my forehead for like 6 months as it grows back.
Smack a decal right in that beard.
That would hurt like a son of a bitch. $199. No, they won't be $199. I don't remember what the price is, and I don't want to say because I don't remember if Chad remembers. Maybe he'll chime in. I can't remember what the price. I can't remember.
Whatever Jeremy's flask is, mine will be 40% cheaper and 20% cooler.
We got to get some Whiskey Knife Fight merch out at some point. We got to get some like Fuck Truly shirts, some Taint Fan stuff.
The Taint Fan is no more.
Well, oh, that's true.
That right there is an air conditioner. Right
there. The Taint Fans is gone, but we can still do like a Fuck Truly. We can do I did a thing shirt maybe. Best desk humidor with glass, 25 to 50 preferably. Man, that's a tough question because so many of those are shit.
So I bought a case. Shit, I can't remember the name of it. Case Matters. I can't remember. But it was like $100. It'll hold 20-ish cigars.
Does it pass the dollar bill test? Have you done the dollar bill test on it?
I don't know what that is.
So, and this is the problem with a lot of wood humidors, right? Especially like the little desktop humidors, because they're usually not very expensive and they're not always made very great. So you take a dollar bill and you put it in there and you close the humidor right on the dollar bill. So the dollar bill, and then if you can pull it out easily with the humidor closed, there's too much air gap there, and it's not going to hold humidity for shit. You should, when you close that humidor, it should seal tight enough to where you can't really get that dollar out. You should have to open it. But most humidors, a lot of these like $25, $30 ones you can get on Amazon, you close that thing down and you can take that dollar bill and go and just pull that bitch right out when it's closed, which means there's a very large gap.
This one, the tolerances on the lid are very tight.
Oh, here we go. Hold on. I'm sorry. $55 for the glass fat flask plus walnut box and funnel, or $75 with the leather. Yeah, because we're selling it separate. For people that maybe don't want the leather, we figured we could offer it cheaper without the leather. So we figured you'd give that option if you wanted it that way. I personally really dig the leather flask, but or the leather sleeve, but to each his own. But yeah, that's the price, which I think leather. Is
you got to get the leather. You have to get the leather for that patina.
That's what I'm saying. Because we like that patina up in here. Plus, it gives you a little protection. Because it is glass, right? So you drop that bitch on tile. It's
Jeremy and I were on the phone talking about his flask. He finally had a prototype and showed it to me, and I was like, actually, really quickly, I got to show you something. I bought real maple syrup from the grocery store, and it came in a little glass bottle, 8 ounces, and I'm like, it's the perfect flask. It's got a plastic cap, and a glass bottle. Of course, it doesn't look that nice, and it doesn't say anything nice on it, but I didn't throw that away for a reason.
No, there's more.
I figured Jeremy would forget to send me one for like a year.
There's more to patina than just the leather, though, because I, of course, knowing me, this is a fully machined brass cap, so that should nice. Up too. So brass and leather. So me, man. Most of the things I do, it's going to have multiple levels of possible patina. What do I use for an infinity bottle? I don't have an infinity bottle right now. Do you have an infinity bottle, Taylor?
I don't know what an infinity bottle is.
Infinity bottle, you take you can take an old bottle, or you can take a decanter of some nature, and every time you get low, your whiskey bottle, pour it in there, and you just get this you always just keep adding to it. Just keep adding to it. Every time you get close to finishing off a bottle, you throw it in your infinity bottle and add it to it. I don't currently have one, but if I did, I think I saved a bottle that I was going to start an infinity bottle with.
I've got a decanter that I would do it with.
You do a decanter. You can do like a really cool whiskey bottle that you really like. Anything like that. But I don't currently have one. I usually drink all of it.
I'm down for a decal giveaway. Somebody mentioned it. I'm down for it.
Oh, dude, I've got a giveaway. Do a decal giveaway. On the next podcast, you'll do a decal giveaway this time, so I won't do one. Next one, I'll do one. I've got some man card version 1s that were left that we had held some back, and I hand patinaed them. I force patinaed them in an ammonia bath and did some things and made them look all old and like they've been at the bottom of the ocean. And I was going to put those out.
What's the name? I gave you the name for them.
He did. He said that would be the man card of Liberty, because a lot of them have all this green on them from where they really patinaed up because they're brass and copper, and the brass and copper can get really green when it patinas. They look really awesome, but I think I've got 15 or 20 of them. And I was going to sell most of them, but I will give away a couple of them on the podcast. I'll give one away next week. Dude, you've already got look, the wrist of liberty.
Patina. Look at that. Both sides.
Bub, I've had this watch on since the beginning of the show, and I've had it on all day.
I put the watch on and my wrist turns green immediately.
No green. None. Zero. I don't understand why you have weird fucking body pH or something, man. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I don't understand.
Dude, it's green. It doesn't show up on camera because I'm so white. Let me see if I can do this. Look at this. It's so green.
That's so weird that it does that.
Instant. It doesn't take long. It's usually about 30 minutes.
I don't get it, man. I don't get it. That would annoy me, though.
It does annoy me a little bit. All it takes to get rid of it is rub it with some hand sanitizer, but
Yeah, but that would probably annoy me. If that happened to me, that would piss me off. But that I've never had it, and I mean I've worn it out. I live in Florida. It's been hot. I've sweat and stuff, and it's never happened to me. Anyway,
this isn't copper. This is bronze. But
people are still saying emblem giveaway. Oh, that's Chad. Do you want to do that now or do that at some point? You want to do it for the people that hang in till the end? How do you want to run it? It's your shit, so you tell me.
I don't know. I have no idea. This is pretty good. It's pretty hot though.
Which one's that?
This is that single barrel bullet, the hand selected.
That's right. I'm about to get on my second.
I love the bullet bottles though.
The bullet bottles do look cool. They're like old West fucking, you know. Oh, jeez. I do that every fucking time. I go to pour it and then it comes out of the straw and every time. Every fucking time. I get water all over my desk. Okay. Got to clean out the Glen, and then do a little hydration in between.
I didn't clean my glass out between the Elijah Craig and the bullet, but
it depends on the whiskey. Sometimes it's not super necessary. Sometimes it's, and if you put an Isla in there, water ain't going to do it.
No.
You got to soap that bitch. Like you put
what I've been missing at home. Like I obviously I still love my Lagavulin, and I've got Ardbeg at home and stuff. I've been missing the Port Charlotte. The bottle's here, not at home. But that Port Charlotte's good.
I need a vote. Do I go with another bourbon or do I switch over to like a Scotch, like an Isla?
Scotch.
What do you guys think? Quick vote in the chat. Isla or bourbon? Let's see. Bourbon, Scotch, Isla, bourbon, Scotch, bourbon, Scotch. Fuck, man, it's almost like 50-50. I'm trying to see which one.
I highlighted the only one that matters.
That's yours. Bourbon, Scotch, Ardbeg, Isla. Fuck, it's about 50-50. Well,
just go Scotch.
I'll just go both. Hold on.
Pour them both in one glass.
Should we do Octomore or should we do?
You won't mix them.
Oh,
you're too scared.
No, just won't. I'm not wasting good Octomore on mixing it.
Not Octomore. Mix a cheap Scotch.
No. Well, if I wanted that, I could just get like some Balcones. That's like a single malt bourbon. It's not really bourbon, but it's like a whiskey from Texas, but it's like single malt style whiskey. So it's kind of Scotchy whiskey flavored stuff. It's interesting stuff.
You could do High West Campfire, which is.
I know what I'll do. Hold on.
Which is bourbon and Scotch and something else mixed. I can't remember.
This guy here.
This is that Michter's he was talking about being so good. What is he doing? What are you doing? That's the Octomore. I know that bottle. He's got to figure out which ears those go in.
What?
You're like a child trying to figure out which foot goes in which shoe.
Well, I got to get the fucking beard out of the way. There's all kinds of, like, you can't even really tell I have in microphones because the beard like totally hides the whole situation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a pour of some of this right now. Oh, wait.
I can't remember what that is. I remembered you talking about it being so good.
Yeah, it's the toasted barrel finish, barrel strength rye from Michter's, which I really, really enjoy. So we're going to get.
I was saying you could do Campfire from High West because that's rye, bourbon, and Scotch, all in one. All in one.
And then that glass, and then we'll get a little pour of some Octomore 8.1.
Is that the different one, or is that the one you?
This is the one that the Bourbon Junkie sent me recently. The 10-year was the one I had before. This is the 8.1. This is a master class version. get a little pour of some Octomore. So there we go. We'll just do both. I will, however, let this Octomore breathe for a second and drink this barrel proof first, because after you go Octomore, you can't go back.
Well, you know what I'm going to do?
What?
Port Charlotte.
Port Charlotte. It's a good one. How do I like? Somebody said on there, how do I like the Onewheel? I saw the Onewheel comment. Dude, I fucking love that thing. I ride it all the time. What's funny is the reason I got a Onewheel is because I think you have to have a Onewheel to be a YouTuber. No, just kidding. I didn't get it for that. I got it because I bought my son a pint, which is like the small version of the Onewheel, for Christmas. And I rode his and I was like, this is too fucking fun. It's actually really cool. I never liked a lot of those electric riding things. I didn't like the hoverboards and all that other shit, but the Onewheel was really fun. So, and then I thought it'd be cool for me to be able to go on Onewheel rides. There you go. Little rinse. So, yeah, so I bought the full size Onewheel, the XR, whatever. And me and him ride that thing all the time. I love it. My mom moved after my dad passed away. She moved out here closer to me so she could be closer, and she's like 1.4 miles away. So we ride the Onewheel over to her house and stuff, and it's fun, man. I love the Onewheel. It's great.
I love this bottle too.
That looks straight like some prohibition medicinal whiskey, because they were still allowed to sell whiskey during prohibition for medicinal purposes. Yeah. So there were certain distilleries that had medicinal license to continue to sell whiskey during prohibition as medicinal. And that looks straight like some medicine bottle version of a whiskey. God damn, this is another one of these. All this toasted barrel stuff gives me marshmallow vibes, man. It's good.
Oh, God, I love peat bombs. I love them so much. I just about wore that. Yeah, I don't know if you saw that.
What, whiskey?
I almost wore it. I was scratching my back and I hit the glass, about knocked it off the table.
Dude, I knocked one off earlier when we were getting ready for the podcast, completely on the floor. Lucky it was still empty, but I knocked the whole glass over and I was like, well, guess I don't need to put that glass there during the podcast because that shit will end up on the floor.
This table is also not super sturdy.
Pete, I was talking to the guys at because I'm doing several collaborations with the. Oh wait, I'll go ahead and do this before my story. I'd be interested in you guys' take on. I've never had either one of those. No way, I take that back. I have had Long Branch. A friend of mine brought a bottle over to my house not too long ago. It was okay. That's the Matthew McConaughey stuff, right?
Yep, I've got a bottle of it right over here, and not my favorite. It's okay.
What's funny is
I tried Wild Turkey 101.
Your background is like closer. I don't know where the line is in your background now with mine. It pointed and it looked like you were pointing in my room. It was weird.
Well, we also have plants at the same spot.
Yeah, so it's like
it looks like we could be in the same room right now.
I know that looks weird, right? Because that line is there, like because I have a piece of trim right there, and
like if my hand's here,
right?
It looks like we could be in the same room.
That's really fucking weird. What night when we were on the podcast and I did something like this and you did something and they're like, you just broke my brain. It looked like you guys were in the same room. You broke the illusion. We know now you motherfuckers are in the same room. You're not really in different states.
You got to like hand the watch over the Diver 65.
Oh, dude, right? That'd be like a David Wayne magic trick.
Oh no, we got to mute him.
Who? Hey,
you got to mute him. Get him out of here.
Yeah, smoking a blind faith.
I posted. I did a super chat on one of their lives, calling you out for all the shit talk you did.
I heard it.
You did. You said this podcast would be nothing without you. No, something like that.
Did you listen to after that though? When I said I'm just kidding. Actually, Taylor's the only professional on the podcast. Without him, it'd probably be off the rails. He's the only one that keeps us on track because I'd be fucking squirrel.
If it weren't for me, you would still be on episode 1. It would just still be going. Like never stop.
I'd be all emaciated and like sucked in. I had eaten in 3 months. Still fucking talking, mouth all dry. All my whiskey'd be gone. Oh, God. What's up, Dan? Glad you could make it, buddy.
No, the person I really need to mute is Alec. Whenever Alec pops back in here,
He's not in here tonight.
No, he's not. But you did a thing with the Bourbon Junkies, and Alex was moderating it, and he kept blocking me
because you were talking shit. What's funny is you kept logging back in under other accounts. You're like, you can't stop me.
I have like 15 YouTube accounts, and all he could do is time me out for 300 seconds. So by the time the first one that he muted got unmuted, I was done. I was back around to it. So.
Dan says, always mute Alec. Always. You drinking anything tonight, Dan? Are you having a drink with us here tonight, or are you in the house? Well, I guess that doesn't mean he's not drinking. He doesn't have to be out in the shed to be drinking.
This one, Dan, this one's for you. This is High West Prairie Bourbon. I know it's your favorite.
Isn't that the one that he always talks shit on you for? He's like,
no, it's his favorite.
I thought that was the one he said is literally the worst High West.
No, he loves it. He said it's amazing.
Dude.
Actually, I was at the ABC store earlier today, speaking of Ardbeg.
Ooh. About to pour some Ardbeg. Does Ardbeg not? Is that not
Ardbeg?
It sounds like an Isla, right? It sounds like what it is. Ardbeg, like it sounds like sea people and like brine and peat and like it's great. I love the name Ardbeg.
Have you had the Corryvreckan? Is that what it's called?
Corryvreckan's one of the only ones I have not had.
Okay, Dan, so it was there today. It was there today, and I almost grabbed it, but I didn't. Dan
said, "What new release do you have?" Dan of the Ardbeg.
He believed me when I said that this was the Prairie Bourbon. I haven't actually touched that bottle since that night that I popped it open. I'm actually drinking Port Charlotte.
We do. People were asking about you earlier, America. People were asking about you earlier, Dan, when we were going to get you and Sean on here, and I said we had every intention to do the Texas whiskey taste off, and then the end of the year happened and everybody's shit fell apart, and then it kind of fell to the wayside. But we'll get back on. Hold on. Have a great evening, everyone. Got stuff to mail tomorrow. Chad, as always,
a big
brother,
box. It's a big box.
I love you, my man. Thanks for coming in for a little while, brother.
Chad, if we do the emblem giveaway, I'll just DM you the winner's info or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll tell them to DM you on Instagram.
I think that's how you asked me to do it last time.
Yeah.
That's how you asked me to do it.
I'll tell the winner to DM you, and I'll tell you the winner's name. That'll work, right? Something like that.
Oh shit! Hold on. He said it's literally called Ardbeg, dude. That's fucking
that's amazing.
That is amazing. I did not know that was a thing.
That's hilarious.
So have you had it yet? Is this going to be the inaugural pour?
Hey, if you got your setup, go into your shed, hop on with us. We're just chilling.
Yeah, dude. I would be curious to see what that's like. He's probably not in the shed. He's probably in the house. If he's in the shed though, and you got your setup, you're more than welcome to join. But if not, no pressure.
Got a pirate on front of the bottle. It's my favorite Ardbeg I've had.
It's his favorite one he's had. It's better than Wee Beastie. It's better than. Let's
be honest. The 10 years better than the Wee Beastie. So.
Get the fuck out of here. That Wee Beastie's fantastic. Is it better than it's better than my favorite?
Ugadal.
Yeah, Ugadal. It's better than Oogie? Oogie's one of my all-time favorites, man. I fucking love Oogie.
Someone said that I should Google it. R.
How many R's?
Yeah, how many R's?
Ardbeg.
It corrected me. Google corrected me with the correct amount of R's.
How many R's is it?
I'll count them in just a second.
Oh, dude, that bottle even looks cool. What's on that bottle? Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I got to find one of those.
Ardbeg. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 R's.
That's impressive. It's his favorite one he's ever had. What's the proof? I can't see it on there.
51.8%. So
dude, that's right in my wheelhouse, man. I love stuff from about. I mean, don't get me wrong. That Woodford I drank just a bit ago was 90, and I really enjoyed it. But like 100 to 105 to 107, like that's a great proof.
Yeah,
Dude, that's
really
great.
Cool.
I'm gonna have to look for that bottle now. I have not seen that. I wonder if it's like, is that a special release, like an allocated, limited amount kind of shit? I bet you it is. It's one of those things that's gonna be hard as fuck to find, probably. I'll have to go.
A lot of pictures of it though.
I'll have to go. I'll have to do a little whiskey hunting.
Hey, if you find a bottle, buy two.
Pick two up. Yeah, that's fine. I can grab two.
Oh man, 170 retail. Holy shit.
Do you still want me to pick up two?
I don't know. He said compare it to Octomore.
Yeah, I mean, are you telling me to compare it to Octomore? Like, get a bottle and compare it? Do you think it's better than Octomore?
I think he's saying like compare it. Like they're similar. But that's, I don't know. He could be saying something.
Really? Wow. Yeah, it's limited. That's a bummer.
Anniversary of their master distiller.
That's a bummer. If it's limited, it's probably gonna be super hard to find. I'm gonna go hunting. I'll go hunting for it this week. It's comparable to Octomore. Oh shit. That's
all right. Well, my birthday is next month, so you can just get me a bottle too. That's
a bold claim, Cotton. Fucking comparable to Octomore. Octomore's a interesting spirit, man.
I love that these people know how you are, you know? I said, I love that these people know how you are. Like Jeremy would ever get around to sending the second bottle. If Jeremy picks up two, Taylor, you'll never get yours, and Jeremy will drink your bottle.
Here's the thing. I will say in my defense, the one thing that I did send you.
You sent a knife and Wee Beastie.
I sent you a bottle of whiskey. When I say I'm going to send somebody whiskey, I generally don't fuck around with the whiskey. Other shit might get left to the wayside, but whiskey, you don't play around with people's whiskey. That's like a man law. Don't fuck with another man's whiskey.
I love this Port Charlotte, man.
You know, I've never had Port Charlotte.
You'd like it. It's not. I think you would think it's more medicinal because it tastes more medicinal to me than Lagavulin. But I don't get Lagavulin, like medicinal taste in Lagavulin. I get it more in Ardbeg.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think Lagavulin's like overly medicinal. When I side by side them with Ardbeg, I tend to get more of a medicinal note in that than I do in Ardbeg. I get a lot of sweetness in Ardbeg. It's, you know, people that the first time they taste Isla scotches, they get hit with that smoke and they don't taste it. But underneath that, a lot of Islas they have a very nice sweetness underneath all that.
I would say this one's pretty sweet. That's
why I like them. Because you get that nice smoke and then you get like the sweetness, fruity sweetness under it. It's almost kind of like smoked pear.
And yeah, Dan's right. This is by the same people as Octomore. So
yeah, it is. They have a couple Port Charlottes, don't they have like a peated and a heavily peated?
Yeah, this is heavily.
Yeah, I think they have a couple different versions of Port Charlotte. One's like a heavily peated and one's just peated or something like that. Under $100 Octomore makes Port Charlotte, Jeremy. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I see that stuff everywhere. Port Charlotte's pretty easy to get a hold of usually. It's not a super hard to find one. Dude, you know what I understand?
I grabbed it.
This is a weird thing about whiskey allocations and how they get sent around, right? So Alec Rubin from Alec Bradley Cigars, he lives in Florida also. Doesn't live crazy close to me. I think he lives, I don't know, does he live near Tampa, Orlando? I don't remember where he lives in Florida, but he lives in Florida nevertheless. I have not seen a bottle of Octomore in a store in my area ever. The one bottle of Octomore I bought, I ordered online, and then Dan and Sean sent me a bottle. I've never seen a bottle of Octomore locally in my area. He sent me a picture from his local store the other day, and there was like 7 bottles of fucking Octomore in that place. So it's just weird that, I mean, we're in the same distribution region, and he's getting a ton of it down there, and I don't ever see it here. It's weird. Whiskey's a weird thing, man.
Well, I live in North Carolina, and
you don't get
really all I need to say because there's no I get shit here.
Well, it's not as bad as Utah.
Oh, well, yeah, Utah is like a very dry state.
I mean, yeah, I see all these people talking like online and stuff. They're like, oh, too bad we can't even get anything shipped here. I'm like, what? Like they just get nothing. That's so depressing. Why would they want to do that to people?
That was actually the first place that I tried High West Campfire because we had to smuggle it into Utah.
But why?
I was driving the Oregon Trail, and to stay on brand we had some High West.
Why would anybody? Why in this day and age where marijuana is legal in like God knows how many states? Why would liquor still be? That doesn't make any sense. Kentucky is weird because most bourbon is made in Kentucky. Now, it does not need to be made in Kentucky to be considered bourbon. That's a common misconception. But Kentucky is definitely the home of bourbon, right? There's a shit ton of bourbon made in Kentucky, and they have dry counties there that like are dry as fuck. You can't buy liquor at all.
Yep, I grew up in a dry county.
Yeah, that's weird. But then all you got to do is just drive across the street and then you get it and you just bring it back. I'm like, I don't understand these laws. They're stupid. It's like the knife laws we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, and you could brown bag at the bar.
Yeah.
You couldn't buy your whiskey there, but you could bring it in and then pay them to serve it to you.
Yeah, that makes no fucking sense whatsoever. None.
Yep. Yeah, that's how it was. And then when I moved out, the neighboring county, which was also dry, finally got an ABC store when I moved away. So now, I mean, it's much better around Charlotte than where it was where I grew up.
Agent Costly, you're high. No, I'm not wearing a flat cap. That thing's got a curve in it, baby.
Mine is not very curved because it's new and
I don't look right in flat caps. Like I think that's
the thing. Nobody does.
I think that's for younger guys or guys that are way cooler than me or something. I don't know. Like I can't pull off a flat cap. I look like a dumbass in a flat cap.
Left Nut says, Taylor, you have to try different ABC stores. I live in North Carolina as well. There are 6 ABC stores in my area. Only one has Octomore. I've been to 5 locally. Nothing good. So I need to travel into Charlotte or go to South Carolina. I mean, I'm not too far from the state line.
Kentucky whiskey laws or England knife laws, which is dumber? I think they're both equally dumb. I think in the year 2021, for anywhere to be dry is dumb. And I think making a knife that opens automatically illegal when a knife exact same design without a spring in it legal is just ridiculous. I think that's both just stupid.
There was a thing I saw. It was like a map of dry counties, I think it was.
Is there still a lot of them?
Yeah, this popped up on my Facebook the other day.
That's crazy.
You're not going to believe how many there are.
Really? That's wild to me. Now I know
it's all in the Bible Belt.
Obviously, when I first moved here, if I remember correctly, wow, all those yellow and red ones. I love to gobble. Wow, dude.
Wow, dude.
Wow, dude.
Dry counties in the U.S. Look how many there are in Texas.
What's the difference between the red and the yellow?
Mixed. So there are probably like municipalities that are dry, but not the whole county. That's my guess.
Okay, so there's really only the red is like dry.
Dry. Yeah. And see, when I grew up, I was in like this area, and it was red when I grew up, and it's changed since.
Wow, that is dumb as fuck. Wow, dude. Wow, dude.
You say "wow" the exact same every single time. That's why I clipped that, by the way. Wow, dude.
Wow, dude. Because that's just dumb. I can't believe there's that. And what's funny is in most of those counties, you can probably buy pot legally.
Probably.
I mean, I got no problem with that, but it's just funny that they're dry counties.
Look at the Texas one. So
what?
So there are only 5 that are dry, but part of these are only partially wet counties.
Now, some of those, they just have laws, right? Like around like certain times. Like if I'm not mistaken, when I moved here, you couldn't buy liquor on Sundays until like noon or 1.
You can't buy liquor here on Sundays.
Right. So is that included in that map if you have weird laws where there's like dry times?
I don't know. Here you can't buy beer before noon on Sunday or wine, but you can't buy liquor at all.
What's up with the Strat guitar? That's my Fender Strat back there. I used to play guitar quite a bit. I was pretty good at it. And then I had kids and I didn't play for years and years and years and years because I just didn't have time. And I just So I lost it. I couldn't play for shit because it had been literally like 8 years since I touched a guitar. And it's not like riding a bike. You do lose the muscle memory, and all my calluses on my fingers were gone and whatnot. So I've recently started to try to play again within the last 6 or 8 months. And I hung them all up in here so that they would be in my face so that I would not forget to practice every day. Because when they're in a guitar case in a closet, you forget about them, out of sight, out of mind. I hung these some bitches up in here so that I would practice every day and get back, because I really enjoyed playing guitar, and I got out of the habit of it.
So what he's trying to say is that soon enough, I'm going to be able to get rid of our intro song, and Jeremy is going to be playing it for us.
Oh, no. No, they're not custom pickups.
I came from the mud. Desert.
Oh, my. I love that song. No, I actually bought it like that. It's got I'm not mistaken, that's a double humbucker and 2 singles, I think is what's in there, if I'm remembering correctly. But no,
I would love to pick up bass again.
Dude, I loved playing guitar when I played it. I enjoyed it. It was relaxing. But when I had kids, I got busy. And then when I would try to pull out the guitar and play, they would always like immediately walk up to it and try to like pull the fucking strings off. It was a clusterfuck, and I couldn't practice at night because it woke them up. So I just, I stopped playing for years and years and years and years. But I have slowly been getting back into it. I'd actually started to get pretty good. And then the end of the year had all that fuckery with losing people in my family and stuff. And then I didn't play for 2 months. And just recently in the last few weeks, I've been picking it up again and trying to practice at least an hour a day.
I'd like to get an acoustic bass, or maybe learn the banjo, but the banjo is like up here. Bass is pretty easy to learn.
I got 2 acoustics over there. I got 2 acoustics over here and 2 electrics on this wall. I want to get a Martin acoustic guitar, or possibly a Taylor. And I think it's really funny that your name is Taylor Martin, because there's like 2 of my favorite acoustic guitars.
Yeah. You know how many times I've got the question, are your parents musicians?
But
do you play guitar? No, I don't play guitar. My parents are not musicians.
I do want to buy, and I want to buy an actual Gibson Les Paul. I have an Epiphone Les Paul, and I want to buy an actual Gibson Les Paul. And I want to buy either a Taylor or a Martin. I can't decide.
Just buy both.
They're expensive, man. They're not cheap. I mean, I don't know. Taylor sells some $400 or $500 acoustics, but the good ones you're going to pay $1,000 or $2,000 a lot of times for a good one. Favorite Seiko? That's the what's the remake of the SKX 007? What's the model number on the new one?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
It's yours, right? The
yeah,
Seiko 5 that you have, but I don't know the model.
Seiko 5. I can't remember the call number. It's basically the kind of a reissue of the 007 after they discontinued it. It's my watch. It's my daily, like when I get on my one wheel, I always put on my Seiko, because
this is that watch for me.
Shit, I don't want to rub this across concrete or my Tudor.
This is that watch for me. This thing's a fucking tank.
Gibson Les Pauls are
marathon.
They are beautiful, and I love my Epiphone Les Paul. It's great. It sounds good, but I mean, it's not a Gibson, right? Eventually, you got to get a Gibson. He's saying Martin. Go with the Martin. Yeah, I like Martins. I like both of them. I haven't played either one of them enough, but I've heard that Taylors play a little easier. I don't know if that's true, because I've never played, but some people, my uncle, he said he always liked Taylors because he thought the action was a little bit lower out of the factory on the Taylors, and they played a little easier. I don't know if that's accurate or not, because I've never owned one. But I do like the Martins.
So this is the consideration that I had back several months ago when I was going to rename my YouTube channel to Taylor Martin. See, you and Peter, both of you were saying just rename your channel to your name.
Yeah,
that easy peasy, no problem. Right. Yeah, I have to fucking compete with Taylor and Martin guitars. There's several Taylor Martin musicians. There is a professional soccer player who is Martin Taylor. Like,
yeah.
How many Jeremy Siners are there in the world?
I don't think there's any more on YouTube.
There's definitely not on YouTube.
There is a fake Instagram account now. And even though I keep submitting to Instagram to verify my account because there's a fake one out there, so they won't fucking give me verification for whatever reason, even though I've seen people with less followers on Instagram than me that are verified. I'm like, what the fuck, asshole, on Instagram?
Yeah, I had 100,000 followers and they won't verify me.
I don't understand what the fuck. And I've got a fake account out there. There's a legitimate reason I want to verify my account because there's another account out there that's has my fucking thumbnail on it. And I'm like, what the hell?
Don't forget Taylor Swift. Let's just put this out there. Fuck Taylor Swift.
Why you want to hate on T Swift, man?
Dude, I cannot stand Taylor Swift.
I mean, I can't either. It's not my type of thing. But young folks, the young
I don't care
girl,
about her music. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about her as a person and like her story and how she became famous and how she is now and how she reacts to everything that happens around her. Like what she does to stay in the limelight. It's just so fucking. I'm not gonna rant about it, but I could. Also, it doesn't help that my new editor, Megan, loves Taylor Swift. Like loves Taylor Swift.
Sorry, I wasn't interrupting Taylor, but I just got done with my last sip of that. And if you like rye and you like Michter's, if you see a bottle of that stuff, it's probably going to be a little expensive, but it's very nice. It's very, very nice.
I have Michter's right there. Just the regular, because I'm not fancy like that.
Okay, now it's time. Octomore. Hey,
you're gonna have to chug that one.
Well, Bub, this is going to be a like vulgar display of power. You remember that Pantera album, Vulgar Display of Power?
No, I never listened to Pantera.
You never listened to Pantera, Taylor?
I like good music.
Taylor. Oh God, Taylor. I want to like you so bad, and then you say shit like that.
Never got into Pantera.
I get it. I mean, you got to remember, man. I grew up in a different era. That was a Pantera was the shit back in the day. But anyway, they had an album called Vulgar Display of Power. But yeah, after drinking, even though that was barrel proof, that was such a boomer question. What was a boomer question?
Do you remember that album?
Fuck you, Dan. I'm Team Sean. No, just kidding. I love Dan. I got to give Dan a hard time sometime, but I love that guy. He's like one of my favorite human beings in the world. It's like Dan's one of those guys you can't be mad at him. You really can't be mad at Dan.
Look at
he is like
the chat is so mad right now. Look at this.
Yeah. See, man, you can't fuck with Pantera. That's like saying some shit about Metallica. You can't. There are certain bands that were
Metallica sucks.
Oh my God, dude. There are certain bands that were just in that era. They were the shit. Like back
Cemetery Gates, Between the Buried and Me did it better. Come at me.
I think you say shit just to piss people off. I've decided you say shit just to incite just fucking anger. That's so funny. But anyway, after that toasted Michter's, which is super sweet, even though it is barrel proof, it's still very sweet. This is going to be, it's going to be a shift. I'm giving my palate a second to like acclimate. Plus, that last pour of that barrel proof, I drank pretty fast, and I'm actually starting to develop a bit of a buzz, and that can be dangerous for saying stuff online that is permanent online.
That's a really good question, Sir Wolf Knight.
I think
that's a really good question.
Did I just burn my mustache? What was the question? What's
Metallica? I think it's a type of paint.
Now he's trolling. Both you motherfuckers are trolling.
Whiskey Knife Fight. Taylor, do you need to check out, or you need to check out Reserve Bar. They ship to your door. Yeah, so the guy, Thor, who's in the chat, he's the guy who sent me that whiskey, and he sent it through Reserve Bar. So I'm familiar with them, and I am now getting pamphlets in the mail with his name on them. Just saying. But yeah, no, yeah, I'm familiar with Reserve Bar, but it is they do have a little bit of a premium attached. When you're already buying like $100 bottle, like it just kind of stings a little more to have to pay, 20% extra plus shipping.
It depends on what it is, right? Like I had to pay a premium on that bottle of Octomore that I got, but it was a bottle that I had never seen anywhere else. So I was like, you know what? Sometimes you just got to eat it and pay the extra and do it. It depends. I mean, I'm not going to pay extra for like stuff that's like mediocre, but if it's a good bottle, I'll snatch it up. You must like Nickelback.
Dude, fuck Nickelback. I'm with you here, Thomas.
I will say this about Nickelback. I agree. Fuck Nickelback. But
there we go. There's a One Direction. Yeah.
Okay. Now everybody's trolling the chat. Okay. Okay. Because putting One Direction and Pantera in the same fucking sentence is even blasphemy. I can't believe you never liked like the heavy metal kind of like from back in the era, like the Panteras, Metallicas, none of that kind of shit.
I went from not really listening to a whole lot of music to like death metal. I just kind of skipped over
Cookie Monster music.
What?
Cookie Monster music?
Yeah.
You know, Cookie Monster.
The pig squeals.
Yeah. Cookie Monster music, exactly.
Hardcore, post-hardcore, folk, Americana, bluegrass. That's where I am now.
See,
I wasn't born yet. I had a short stint, a very short stint that I listened to Metallica, but it was very topical. I didn't really get into them that much.
Dude, one of the coolest, like I used to listen to it when I would lift real heavy in the gym. I was like on heavy deadlift day or something like that. Oh God, what was the name of that fucking song? It was called Halo. What was that band?
That was a video game, Jeremy.
No, it wasn't a video game.
Your boomer brain is not working.
It was not the Beyonce song Halo. It was. I'll have to look it up. It's on my phone still, I think. It was.
There we go. Cannibal Corpse, Beneath the Massacre, Iron Dissonance, Into the Moat, all that shit. That was where I went in hard. Despised Icon.
I'm trying to find the song.
Machine Head, Halo.
Machine Head, yes. Oh, goddamn. Dude, that fucking song on deadlift day when you were lifting heavy, you put on some fucking Machine Head, it would get you fucking swole, son. You were ready to lift some shit and crack some heads. It was good stuff.
Job for a Cowboy. That was some of that pig squealing music. Actually, just since we're on the topic here, I got a text a couple of months ago from my old bandmate. So I used to play in a death metal band.
Somebody said Mushroom Head. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but it made me laugh.
But I got a text from my old bandmate, and he said, I don't know why, but out of the middle of nowhere, I got a notification that our old album is going to be pressed into vinyl. We got selected, and they're pressing our album into vinyl, which is kind of cool until you realize the fact that I was never on a recording with them. I replaced their old vocalist, so he's on all the recordings. But on the flip side, on the reverse side of the record, they're going to do the live recording of the last show, and that will be me on the mic, which is kind of cool.
Awesome. That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to say something, though, and this is in risk of me adding to your list of boomer shit. Is it weird that I actually like listening to vinyl?
No.
Okay.
It's just hipster, and you're a hipster, so it's pretty...
No, man, certain stuff, like especially stuff from back in the 70s.
The way that it makes me feel, man.
You know, like Jimi Hendrix and stuff, man. Like that stuff was meant to listen to on vinyl, bro. Like it sounds really good on vinyl. I've got a really good turntable. I've got some good speakers in there, and you put some fucking like Jimi Hendrix on that sumbitch, and it is good.
Entombment of a Machine. Holy shit. Yes, there we go. That was the heyday of
constantly just called
squealing. What?
It says hipster.
Means you're a purist. That sounds exactly like what a hipster would say.
Dude, it's not all music. Like I don't really like listening to modern day music on it. It's specifically older music I like listening to on vinyl. Like I have old records on vinyl, like Jimi Hendrix, shit like that. I bring that up because that's probably the one I listen to the most. Pink Floyd. I listen to Pink Floyd on vinyl. Like stuff from that era I like to listen to on vinyl. I don't want to listen to like modern stuff on vinyl as much. That kind of shit just feels like it should have been a boomster. A boomster. That's like
that's the perfect term for Jeremy.
A boomster. I don't know, man. It just sounds different, man. There's something about it. It's kind of like, and somebody just brought up vacuum tube. It's kind of like a tube amp compared to like a digital amp for guitars, right? Like they have digital amps for guitars that can make it sound like it's a tube, but it's not the same as getting like a true Marshall tube amp. Like it has a different sound to it.
Flick it on, it goes. Brrr.
Yeah, it's got a different, like it hits different, man. I don't know what it is.
Colin's asking the real questions. Would Posty sound good on vinyl?
Dude, I love Posty.
His auto-tuned vibrato probably would sound weird on vinyl.
Dude, I love Post. I listen to Post all the time. I listen to Post all the time, but I don't listen to him on vinyl now.
Hall & Oates. Wow.
There is certain stuff, man. There's certain stuff. And it's like I said, it's the same with guitar amps. You get a tube guitar amp, like a Marshall tube amp. You can't. It's just not the same. It's just not the same if it's not a tube amp. It has a grit to it that you don't get from electronic or digital amps. It's got like a warmth and a grit. I didn't want to say warmth because I know you said something about that earlier, but it does. It has this sound to it. Most people,
soul, man.
I don't know if I'd call it soul. That's getting a little hippy dippy, but it's definitely got a feel to it that, and most people that play guitars know what I'm talking about. Like a tube amp has a different kind of feel to it. I love my tube, man. I love it. I fucking love it. I just don't have it on the day because I have to switch it up every now and then because I find myself wearing it. You know what one of my favorite things about the Tudor is? The power reserve. I'll take that bitch off. I won't wear it for like 4 days. I'll go back. It'll still be ticking. I forgot how many hour power reserve that thing's got, but it's long as fuck. I love the power.
The power reserve on this one is?
Yeah, forever because it's a
quartz. It's like 10 years. 8, 5, whatever. It depends on the battery, I guess.
Mm-hmm. But
that's why I like to have one quartz watch in my collection, and it being my like work watch, because if I'm going to go do something, like if I'm going to work on a truck or going out in the woods or doing whatever, I don't have to set the time on it. If it's one of those like purpose driven watches where if I know I'm going to have to go do some work, I go grab this one, throw it on my wrist. I know the time is right. You don't have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm not going to sell this one.
Well, and I've really been thinking about getting a Casio just because
they're pretty cool. Have you seen the metal mods?
Yeah.
AP mods for them.
AP metal mods on the Casio. Like I could see that as a watch that like, I don't have to worry about it going out and resetting the time. If I'm out doing shit, I don't have to worry about it. If I'm riding my one wheel, like I said, I always make sure I change my watch when I ride my one wheel because I've eaten shit on that thing several times and I don't want to like fuck up a really expensive watch. Fuck up a Casio, what, $100, $200 max? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know? So I've really been thinking about pulling the trigger on a Casio and getting one of those metal mods. I really like it. I think it looks pretty sharp too, honestly.
The only problem that I hear is that the bracelets on them are kind of shit.
Yeah. I mean,
like
you got
probably you get it's kind of garbage.
What, what's the face? What's the size on those?
I don't know.
I think they're huge. Dude, did you see that fucking watch Peter got?
Which one?
That fucking it's the Casio. It was some like limited edition thing that Casey Neistat talked him into getting.
I didn't see it.
It's like all different colors.
Oh. I've seen Casey's.
Probably the ugliest, but kind of coolest watch I've seen in a while. Like, because it's got a certain kind of cool factor just because it's so outlandish that there's something to it. And I get what Peter means when he's like, there's just something to it. But I think he said it's like 58 millimeters and it's like rainbow. He even admits it. He's like, it's the ugliest watch I've ever seen. He's like, but there's just something to it. He's like, there's just something to it. Yeah. It's
somebody asked.
It's the Boker Mermaid of watches. That's exactly what it is.
I gave my mermaid to my editor. So I gave her a Bug Out Mini that Benchmade, they sent that Pelican case. I gave her the Bug Out Mini out of that. And I gave her my mermaid, which was in the hand in the set of my old set. That hand was holding a mermaid. So I gave it to her.
The mermaid. You used to have that in the hand in your set in the back.
That's literally what I just said.
Oh. I heard you say I missed that. I was reading a comment. I heard everything you said. I must have missed the one sentence where you said that.
Oh my God. I was like, I stopped talking about the mermaid being in the hand. And then you're like, that was the one you had in the hand, right? Nah.
Nah, that's not the one. No,
Old person hearing.
that's what it is, bro.
God.
Well, no, you know what it is? It's dad of 3 kids hearing, right?
He
Like,
tunes out the youngsters. Is what
you
it is.
tune out things occasionally. It's sometimes the what do they call that?
Selective hearing.
Selective hearing. Sometimes
My
the
2-year-old has acquired selective hearing.
yeah, selective hearing, unfortunately, it doesn't always work the way you want it to. Sometimes it tunes shit out when you don't mean it to, and you're like, fuck, I just totally missed that.
But that wouldn't be selective then.
Well, it's just not my selection.
Who's
always
making the selection?
my subconscious, I suppose.
Oh, is it the Jeremy from the ads? Is it that one?
It could be the rainbow. Dude, is anybody in the chat from Texas or possibly Alabama? I think Texas, maybe Alabama. I think there's some in Alabama. I know Texas. Texas is where they're from. Is anybody in the chat from Texas? I'm just curious. I'm about to derail this conversation for just a minute.
Before you do, he who is says my good watch is a Casio Duro. That is a great watch, actually.
Look, he's got a little Les Paul in his thumbnail. I like it. Unattentive selective. Yes, that's Chris. That's actually a good way to explain it. Okay, there are some Texas people. We just got a Buc-ee's. I talked about it in my last video. Have you heard of Buc-ee's?
I've heard of it. Yeah,
dude, it's like my favorite place now. That place. If heaven had a smell, I would imagine it smells like Buc-ee's. Okay, because you roll in there and they're doing fresh barbecue. So there's like the smell of like fresh brisket. They've got a fudge. They're making fresh fudge. So there's like fresh fudge being cooked. And then they're doing the candied like cashews and pecans where they like have them in that thing and they heat them up with the butter and the cinnamon and the brown sugar. And like, you know what I'm talking about? Dude, that place smells.
You like butter your nuts?
That I do like to butter my nuts. Those things smell. Yep. Those things
roped them in.
Those things smell gold. I love that place. I'm going to gain 30 pounds. They've got these fucking snacks called beaver nuggets that are just delicious. I'm sure they're terrible for you. It's like some kind of puffed thing covered in like sugary brown sugar type shit. So good. That place has got everything in it. It's got everything.
Joshua Lutendresse. Dude, I don't even know how to say your last name. It's in my phone, and I'm like, every time I see your last name, I try to pronounce it like 5 times. He says, I have a T-SAR, not a C-SAR. So Josh, has a C-SAR, and the C-SAR is, and everybody's like, isn't it ZAR? No, it's T, search and rescue, C, search and rescue. So I always say T-SAR, C-SAR. The chronograph, dude, I love the way the Marathon chronograph looks, but it's like 48 millimeters. It's fucking enormous.
That is a big watch.
So big, but it looks so good. It looks so good.
Did you see people popping in with the beaver nuggets in the best gas station ever? I'm telling you, dude. I know it seems silly that I'm making a thing, but I think calling this place a gas.
It's a gas station?
It's calling it a gas station is kind of an insult because it's literally the size of a grocery store. Like, it's huge. There's like 100 pumps. It's huge. It's enormous. Like,
okay, 46 millimeters. Sorry, my bad. It's still fucking huge.
That is still big. They've got a full gift shop. They've got fresh barbecue going all the time. They've got a whole area that's like a normal convenience store. They've got a whole fucking row that's like the deli section at a normal grocery store that's just beef jerky that you can go get beef jerky by the pound. It's all this different types of beef jerky. It is the craziest fucking place I've ever been in. I've been there every day since they opened it, and I'm probably going to gain 35 pounds.
Wow. Also, you say they got brisket going. What kind of barbecue do they do?
They do mostly just brisket, turkey, and maybe pulled pork. The brisket's the big thing. They do fresh brisket 24/7. You go in there and they're yelling brisket on the board, and they're in there chopping fucking brisket, and they're slapping out these brisket sandwiches 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Okay, let me ask a better question. To you, what is barbecue? So in North Carolina, there's a big debate over Eastern and Western barbecue. What kind of barbecue sauce is the right barbecue sauce? This is a
The
very
sauce,
important
to
question.
me, sauce has nothing to do with the barbecue itself. To me, the barbecue is how it's cooked.
Well,
right?
yeah,
Like
that's
there's-
literally why it's barbecue.
right. Like the sauce, depending on the region, they have a lot of different kinds of barbecue sauce. I, with like pulled pork, really like a mustard-based barbecue sauce.
Mustard or vinegar? Yes.
Right. On
You get
now,
that Sweet Baby Ray's bullshit. Get out of here with that.
it's okay on like certain things. Like I will mix Sweet Baby Ray's with some of the juice from when I do ribs, and usually some bourbon and some other things, and make kind of like my own sauce with Sweet Baby Ray's as a little bit of the base. And I'll lightly coat my ribs like right before I take them off with a little bit of that, and that's okay. But for ribs, like spare ribs, I think it's okay. But on pork, I like mustard or vinegar based sauce. And there's a place called Roosters around here that makes some of the best barbecue in town. It's one of those places that they're open from 10 until we run out of barbecue. You know, those kind of places, you know, like
Yeah.
Mama, delicious. And they have like a mayonnaise based barbecue sauce that's white, and it's spicy. It's daddle pepper mayonnaise barbecue sauce, and that shit is delicious.
That sounds weird. Literally, right through the woods here, down the street, like a mile, there's a place called the Smoke Pit.
Smoke Pit. I like it. It sounds good so far.
Oh, dude. They have a sandwich called, what is it called? I can't remember what it's called, but that's the sandwich I get. It has smoked sausage.
Yep.
It has brisket, burnt
I'm in.
ends, and barbecue.
I'm
Pulled pork
in.
barbecue
I'm
on
in
a
with all
sandwich.
that
And it's
sounds
like
good.
this tall, and they cut it in half, and it's a joke of a sandwich. There's no way you can fucking eat it as a sandwich because it's this tall. Like you're like
you can kind of eat it as a sandwich, but then you need a fork for all the cleanup shit that fell out after when you were eating it.
So you pick it up, you take a bite, and then all you have left is 2 pieces of bread in your hand, and everything's on the
That's a good kind of sandwich right there, man.
But every time I've ever had that, it's like $14, but it's like 2.5 meals. So good. So good.
Barbecue is probably one of my favorite types of thing next to steak. Now, I do like a good iron skillet steak with the butter and the garlic and the rosemary and all that. But next to that, I'm actually going to make some videos on grilling barbecue type stuff, I think, coming up. Cause I mean, it kind of fits. We do kind of, on my channel, I'll do all kinds of different random man shit. So I think the way I do my ribs and the way I do my pork butt, I'll probably do a video on it.
Speaking of future content and man shit, I have been bitten by a bug.
Uh-oh.
I've spent an ungodly amount of time over the last probably 2 weeks looking for something very specific.
What's that?
I will show you what I want. The budget will not allow, but I'll show you what I'm after.
Let's see it.
It's loading.
Right.
The website's slow.
While you're loading, I'm going to go first sip on the Octomore. The palate has had time to cleanse.
This truck is very close to my office or my house or whatever. It's very close to me. And I really want one, like really bad. Really bad. This will be for channel number 2.
Ooh, the smoke.
Mm.
Ooh. Both. I just got a hard hit of like smoke and sweet and awesome. And you showed me that picture at the same time. It was too much stimulation. Too much stimulation at the same time.
Dude,
I've got a rock hard erection right now.
I am trying so hard to find a Land Cruiser that I can afford. This one, when I first found it, this is on bringatrailer.com. When I first found it, it was $6,000. The bid has now jumped to $16,000, and it will probably end close to 30. But I want an FJ60 or an FJ62 so fucking bad.
Dude,
bad.
The thing is what year is that? Did you say
1983? I believe this one is.
I feel like they made
87.
better. I feel like they made better shit back in the day.
Dude, they're fucking bomb proof.
I feel like they made better shit back in the day.
Okay.
I really do.
I'm gonna stop sharing this, and then I'm gonna show you something else that I've been looking at. This one is also close to me, and I've almost pulled the trigger on it like 5 times.
Goddamn, dude. You keep talking. I'm listening. But can I talk
I sent you a
about
picture of this one. Yeah, go ahead. I
the
sent you a picture of this one.
the level of sweetness that is on the, as soon as you get past the smoke, the aftertaste is all like honeyed fruit. It's super sweet. As soon as, I mean, the initial thing definitely pops you in the face with some heavy smoke, but then it's all this super fruity sweetness on the back end. It is Octomore, some good shit, man.
Josh, I will happily split it with you. That one's like an hour from me, but you'll have to leave it at my place and you'll have to come to North Carolina when you want it. And that's quite a bit of drive for you. So just saying, or a flight, whatever. But here is the other one. I sent you a picture of this one, Jeremy. So this one would be for a very specific reason.
That was the one you were telling me about the other day.
The Suzuki Samurai looks
I get it, dude.
badass.
I just can't get behind the Suzuki Samurais, dude. I want to. I get it. I'm sure they're awesome, but it's like a tennis shoe, bro.
It's so small, but
it's so small, man.
I would do a Jetta TDI swap. So there's a 1.9 liter TDI swap kit for the Samurai. So that's why I would get it. But yeah, no, somebody asked, am I doing some overlanding stuff? Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've wanted to do, that's why I bought my AT4. That's why I have the truck I have. And I literally cannot do anything to that truck. So I'm looking for alternatives. I might sell the truck.
See,
that I'm 100% going to buy something to work on.
See, that first one you showed me made my wiener move.
Well, it's a Land Cruiser. Of course it did.
That second one you showed me, flaccid. Just, it went limp. I mean, I get it. I know what you're saying. Guys make them into these like awesome little things because they're so little they can go over anything because there's like little tennis shoes with big wheels, but they don't have the fucking that like that.
Okay, there's one more, and then I'm going to get a vote from the chat on which direction I should go.
I agree, man. Get a Jeep. I've had a bunch of Jeeps.
I don't want a Jeep. Jeeps put me to sleep. Sorry, I do.
I've had like 4 of them, and I love them.
If you've ever noticed anything about anything I do, I hate things that are super popular, and I don't do it to be a hipster.
No, you get an old Jeep. Old Jeep. I don't mean a new Jeep. Fuck the new Jeeps.
If I got a Jeep, it would be an old FJ Toyota Land Cruiser.
Yeah, there you go.
I wouldn't get a Jeep.
Dude, get an old Bronco. Those old Broncos.
I was looking at Broncos. The problem with the old Broncos, like the Bronco 2s, the problem with those is that people overvalue them. They're fucking rusted out and lifted, and the mods were shit, and they're just junk to hell, and people still want like 10 grand for them.
Yeah, but those old
out of their damn mind.
Those old Broncos were dope.
Now, if money were not an issue, for sure, no question about it, the one thing I would buy right now to do an overland rig with is a Defender. I would get a Land Rover Defender and be fucking done. Like, no question. There's a badass Defender not far from here for $14,000. Dude, it's so sick, but it's right-hand drive. I would pull the trigger on it right now if it were not right-hand drive.
Dude, I will say a bunch of people are saying have you seen that new Bronco?
New Broncos are cool.
I'm not big into new vehicles when it comes to that kind of thing. I would rather get an older vehicle. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm going to buy a new truck this year. I'm not saying I'm against new vehicles, but for that kind of thing, I think older cars are better. But I did see those new Broncos and I was like, oh, dude, that does look. My problem is I'm not going to want to take a new vehicle that cost me 60 grand and go beat it up in the woods.
Exactly. That's,
you know what I mean?
The problem is I want something that is relatively affordable.
Right.
That I can take off road and if something breaks, whatever. And I would feel a little weird about a Land Cruiser because Land Cruisers are so coveted that if I beat the shit out of a Land Cruiser, I would feel really bad about it.
Yeah. You know? I can see
that. I don't know why I can't find this Land Rover. I have one saved. There's one near me, Land Rover Discovery. Like, okay, whatever. Those are kind of cool. But I saw this pop up the other day. Actually, yesterday. This thing is so sweet. Where'd it go? Right here. Dude. And people are going to look at me and they're going to think, that's a little weird. Alex said it was a little ghetto. But I'm sorry. This thing's kind of badass. I'm not going to lie. Bear
Alex,
with me.
Alex is right.
No, bear with me. This thing is 4-wheel drive.
Is that a Gremlin? What the fuck is
No,
that?
this is an AMC Eagle.
What the fuck is an AMC Eagle?
You're looking at it. It's
Well, I
4-wheel
know.
drive. Okay, imagine.
Okay, but I mean, was that originally 4-wheel drive, or is that like one of those things where some redneck
No,
modded it?
These words right here on the side say 4-wheel drive.
Okay.
But imagine if there were a smoke lounge inside a car. Okay, you with me?
Smoke lounge inside a car.
Look at this. Look at the interior, dude. Hang on. Look at that. Dude, it's so badass.
I mean, that's kind of ugly, bro. What? Okay, now the inside of it is your typical 80. Like my grandmother used to have a Cadillac that looked like that on the inside. Like they used to have the big overstuffed leather seats that are like.
It looks so comfortable.
Yeah, it looks like a fucking.
So comfortable.
But the problem with that is it's like.
Imagine that on a lift with bigger wheels and tires, or smaller wheels, bigger tires, and a roof rack with a tent on it.
I don't know, dude. That's kind of weird.
Dude, I'd go for it. I think it'd be so badass.
I mean, the interior alone is like what? What?
Dude, you wouldn't need a tent. You
Why
can
is
sleep
that
on those seats.
Why does a car with that interior have 4-wheel drive? I'm confused.
What, dude? Have you seen some of the Defenders?
They don't have interiors like that, do they?
Dude, they have nice ass interiors.
Do they look like they're not that big overstuffed cushy shit they used to put in luxury cars in the 80s though, is it?
No, it's more like straight up luxury.
Yeah,
like a nicer Defender.
Yeah. No, I get that.
There's some older Defenders. Like, look at this. This is a 1997 Defender. Sorry, you guys. I'm on a kick right now, and I've opened Pandora's box, so I'm not actually sorry about it, but.
Yeah, no, I mean that's mellow. Like that looks like, yeah.
Dude,
I mean, that
if I had
like
no money, I would just buy that. That's $189,000 though. So that's.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this one's a little expensive.
You know, that's another car that's super expensive that I don't understand. G-Wagons. Why are fucking G-Wagons so expensive?
I don't know.
They're so expensive.
I think this thing right here, this Defender is just. I wish someday I will have a really nice Defender. I just don't want one that is right-hand drive. That's my biggest problem. I
think someone told me the G-Wagons are expensive because they're like basically bulletproof. Like I think like they're really bulletproof. Like the doors, like it's thick metal. Like I think that's why they're so expensive. I think somebody told me that one time when I asked about it. Because those things are ridiculously expensive. It's like all what the rich women drive, the G-Wagons. All the rich ladies want a G-Wagon.
The consensus in the chat is no on the AMC.
Yeah, dude, I think it was ugly.
However, Zach was all for the AMC. He said I should go for it.
Well, Zach likes ugly shit, though.
Wow. Damn.
No, I don't mean that in a mean way, but like Zach likes to take like weird, eccentric shit that like doesn't make sense, right? Like that's kind of his thing, right? Like he likes to get like old, weird cars and make them into something that they're not, right? Like that's kind of his vibe.
Okay, I want to show you actual goals, and this is the last one. This right here. This is mint.
Yeah, dude, those things are expensive as shit.
$149,000.
So much money for a car. It's so much money.
It's so much money.
That's so
I
much
want
money.
this so bad.
That's so much money.
Look at that, though. That is like the most picturesque vehicle ever made. Maybe not, but someday. I won't have a Defender that nice, but I will have a Defender. It makes me so mad because like I've been watching Bring a Trailer all week, looking at Land Rovers and Land Cruisers and all sorts of different stuff. And I've been keeping my eye on some Defenders. The problem is most Defenders on Bring a Trailer go for $50,000 or in the ballpark, 30 to like 60, sometimes 80. Always. I mean, that's the range for a Defender. Dude, one that wasn't super far from me dropped. The auction ended yesterday and the bid was $11,000. I was so mad. Like,
iMac Death says, but 20K is so much money for a watch. He's got a point. I'll drop 20K on a watch, but 150 for a car seems outlandish. I guess that is kind of.
I mean, $150,000 is a whole lot of money, no matter what you're buying, except for maybe a house. You know.
True. But you are getting an entire vehicle and not something you wear on your wrist. So I get his point. He's got a valid point.
I mean, shit, $5,000 is a lot for a watch, Jeremy. Let's be real.
It is. I still, if my AD ever calls me, I'm pulling the trigger on that fucking Rolex, son. I want that thing so bad. A lot of people aren't on the Rolex train, man. A lot of people think Rolexes are overpriced and whatever, but man, they hold their value.
I have watched Expedition Overland. They were the ones that really first got me into wanting to make my original channel outdoors based. Really, really loved their content. I've fallen off lately, but I follow Trail Recon and them and a bunch of other YouTube channels. I just recently started following Dirt Lifestyle. I DM'd him and he replied the other day, and maybe I'd like to see if he could help me solve my issue with the AT4, but I have a feeling that I'm just going to have to get rid of the AT4.
You see, Rolex watches are a gold standard. I agree, man. I like Rolexes, but a lot of people hate on Rolexes for whatever reason, and I don't get it because, I mean, they are kind of the gold standard for luxury watches, and they hold value better than just about anything in the watch world.
Okay, so I'll say this. There are companies that do more for less.
Sure.
There are companies that do a lot more for significantly less.
Sure, but they don't hold their value like a Rolex.
What's that doing? Can you hear that?
No.
There's somebody out here. It sounds like a fucking Hellcat or something. It's
a beauty of the pod mic, son.
I know.
It's a very proximity sensitive microphone.
Dude, that was loud as shit. I'm much closer to a road now, like really close. Right outside this door is a road, and then right on the other side of this building is a train track. So I'm in a very loud location now, but it seems to be okay for the podcast.
Right.
Anyway, Rolex. There are companies that do a whole lot more for a whole lot less.
Absolutely.
Rolex's biggest thing is attention to detail.
Yep.
And forced scarcity, honestly.
Well,
really
yeah. It's attention to detail. It's also just the fit and finish on those watches is pretty fucking flawless, right? Which falls into the attention to detail.
And it's funny because we were talking about this. We both have the same watch. And the fit and finish on this is fine. But my Christopher Ward has, I'd say, if you're talking in percentages, 100% nicer finishing. Like it's a very nice watch. It feels better. It looks better. Like if you look close up, not talking about like actual style, but just the finishing of that Christopher Ward, much nicer, and it's a cheaper watch.
You know, it's funny, and that's something I noticed about even my Tudor, which is owned by Rolex, if I'm not mistaken. The finishing on that watch is different than any other watch I have. You don't notice it in pictures. You don't notice it until you have it in your hands and you have it in front of other watches, and it just looks different. Like it has a different luster to it than any of my other watches. Like the brushing and the stainless steel and stuff is just a higher quality than other watches that I have. It's just nice, you know? And Rolex even takes that up another notch. And I don't know there's another watch out there that holds its value better than a Rolex. Most Rolexes you gain money.
But they're
even more expensive.
Are more expensive than a Rolex.
Yeah.
The problem is, and they may not even hold their value. It's just that there's so much more start cost, like initial cost, that, you know, if you're spending that much, then who the fuck cares at that point if you're losing or gaining money on a watch? For me, I'm not on the Rolex train at all. I thought about buying Peter's Rolex at one point. He was going to sell one. I just couldn't do it, man. And even like the Omega, I struggle wanting to spend that kind of money on a watch. I've had multiple opportunities to buy the Speedmaster, and I haven't done it. I've gone in a different direction every time. This was the most money I've spent on a watch, and I didn't hesitate because this was a one of one. I just pulled the trigger, Instabought. But I'm happy with my collection right now, and I don't know that there's a whole lot that I want.
There's
It's
two
funny.
watches that I'm on the wait list with my AD, and if they call me on either one, I'll probably pull the trigger.
I take that back. There is one that I know I'd buy if I had the opportunity right now, and that is a sapphire crystal on a Max Bill chronoscope from Young Hands. I had that Young Hands in the past, that bubble looking watch. I'd buy that one again in a heartbeat, but I don't want to pay full price for the sapphire crystal. So you can't get the Young Hands with the sapphire on the gray market yet. So as soon as one pops up on the gray market, I'll buy another Young Hands. Other than that, I don't know, man. I don't think there's any watches that I really truly want. I just know that I need a dress watch in my collection. Other than that, I don't know.
I got two. Submariner. I really want a Submariner just because that's kind of the standard Rolex. I really just want one of those. And I'm on the wait list for a root beer GMT. There's something about that fucking root beer GMT that speaks to me. I love that watch. I don't know what it is. I love it. I love it.
It's kind of like burn less and less as you get more into it.
You do.
Do you mean like the burn from spending so much on a watch? I'm asking because I know you have an AP, so I'm asking like legitimately, is that what you mean? I'm starting to slur. I'm gonna have to sleep here. Chris Clark says, "Do you ever wear the watch you built from that kit?" Yeah, I actually wore it 2 days this week.
You don't like the root beer GMT, bro?
No, I don't really care for many Rolexes. Honestly, they don't do much for me.
The root beer GMT gives me like at least a semi.
So Eric says, "Yep, that's exactly it." So that's true of anything, right? So a year ago, I would not have spent $400 on a knife, just boom, no hesitation. But as soon as this popped up, I saw them pop up for sale on a store, and I bought it instantly. So yeah, once you rip that Band-Aid off, it's much easier to spend that kind of money again. And it's a slippery slope, but this is the watch. This one is one of the few in my collection that I think I'm going to get rid of. This is the Laurier Neptune.
How do you feel about Big Pilot? IWC Big Pilot.
I like it. I like it a lot.
They're expensive as shit too, though.
They're what, 8 to 10?
Yeah, I mean, they're up in that Rolex price range. Yeah,
I really like them, but I mean, if you look at it, it looks a lot like, if you're talking about the chronograph, right? That looks what?
They got a lot of Hamiltons and stuff out there that look a lot like those, don't they?
It looks very similar to my Damasco, right?
How does it?
And the Damasco, I love it. I love that watch. I am iffy about the bracelet right now because there's no micro adjust. They send like long links with it, but the problem is it's a butterfly clasp, and I just don't like butterfly clasp watches because there's no micro adjust on the fly. Whereas like this one, you've at least got 5 levels of micro adjust on the Oris. I've got 5 on the Marathon. My CW has a toolless micro adjust, so I can just pull a tab and slide the bracelet from the clasp. So nice. But with that bracelet on the Damasco, it's all Torx screws. There's 4 Torx screws per link, and there's no micro adjust. And it just, some days it fits really well, some days it doesn't. And
somebody said, "What's wrong with my eye?" It's my contact, man. For some reason, whenever I do these podcasts, toward the end, my contacts start drying out, and then I have to like wiggle them to keep them in focus because they get all wonky and I can't see. Yeah, somebody said, "Don't get a root beer. Root beer's crap. Get Explorer 2." I had an opportunity to get an Explorer 2 in a polar dial, and I didn't. I was on the fence about it. I almost got it.
That was the one I was going to buy.
Yeah, I really liked it. I almost bought it. I kind of wish in a way that I would have, but I don't know. I didn't. It's too late now. But I mean, I wouldn't not get. I like the polar dial, especially Explorer 2. I really like. I like it way better than the black dial.
I agree. Still not on that Rolex train. I'm just not.
David Robertson says,
I would rather have
shit. It is not shit, David. You speak blasphemy, sir.
I would rather have an Omega Seamaster over a Rolex.
You know, I thought I wanted Omega for a while. I'm kind of over Omega, I think. There's a couple of them that I really like, but
it's because you're a hipster.
No, I like some of them, but I don't like, I mean, you know, a lot of a watch is just personal taste, right? Like the way a watch looks, either you like it or you don't. I like the Omegas, and I know Omegas offer a really great watch for a good price, right? They make fantastic watches, but I'm just not 100% sure if I just think I like the look of some other watches better.
But you also like green more than blue. Yeah, I do, because I know it's good. Just saying.
I don't know, man. There's a bunch of them out there I like.
I think eventually I'll have no problem buying a Rolex or whatever, but currently there are so many other things I'd rather spend money on, like building an overland rig, or buying a house. That'd be great.
Well, that's the thing. That's the
no
thing.
Opinion is wrong, but you are wrong. I think you got that backwards.
That's the same thing I'm going through, though, man. We're trying to renovate our kitchen in our house, and that's going to cost a pretty penny, because I don't know if you've ever renovated a kitchen, but they're not cheap to renovate kitchens. And every time I talk about that Rolex, my wife's like, yeah, well, what about that kitchen reno, Jay? I'm like, yeah, I should probably do the responsible thing and do the kitchen before I buy the Rolex. That's probably a more adult move, but you know.
Yeah. Well, Alex said if I buy her a ring, a house, and a minivan, then she doesn't care after that, and I can buy anything I want.
Well, that's kind of where my wife's at. Like I do the reno on the kitchen and do all the other stuff. I already let her spend a bunch of money buying new furniture, doing some stuff. I'm like, get the kitchen done, and then I think I'm free.
So if I do that, I am 100% buying a Unimog and making that an overland rig.
Jeremy, could you help me set up my Sony RX100? Do I have an RX100?
No. What happened is you returned your RX100 Mark 7 before your return period ended, and I didn't.
Oh, that's right. I got the ZV1
one with a flip screen.
I got the ZV1 because of the flip screen. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Get her the Hellcat minivan. Now that is an idea.
I can't roll with minivans, bro.
I'm
an SUV guy.
I told her if she get the minivan, she's driving it everywhere. I'm not driving the minivan. I don't want it. I got the truck so we could accommodate more car seats, and I drive everywhere.
Hey, car seats are a real fucking thing you have to consider.
God, they're amazing. They're amazing.
They're a nightmare, dude. They take so much fucking room.
Dude, that's why I got rid of the Tacoma. Like, if you put the car seat in the Tacoma, Alex had to slide her seat up to where her knees were in the dashboard.
I like Loom Shot. He says, you can buy the wife a Rolex before you buy yours. Then you can both forget about the kitchen. It's a good point.
Only if it's a green Rolex, right?
I do have a bit of a thing for the Hulk, man. I'm not gonna lie. I like the Hulk. But that's a very different green. And the reason I like the green Rolex, because it's kind of a fuck you green, right? It's just like, yeah, it's a green Rolex.
It is very in your face, fuck you style.
I feel like it's okay to have a fuck you watch, right?
Yeah, I like this very like subtle pea soup kind of green. That is, if you're not looking for it, you don't see it. That's my style.
That's one of the reasons I really like the blue on this Oris, honestly, because it doesn't always look blue.
Your camera died.
Oh, motherfucker. Hold on. I don't understand why that happens, because I got the fucker plugged in. Stand by.
Mine didn't do it. Just saying. Isn't that Conor McGregor's watch? Probably. Do you guys think Sony is going to drop the A7 IV this year? I have an A7 II and I want to get the A7 R3, but I might wait for the 4. I don't know. I don't follow Sony too terribly closely. I have an A7S3, an A7 R3, and an A7 III. And I don't really plan to upgrade, so I'm not really watching too closely. I wouldn't mind swapping the A7. I don't know. I think I'm happy with what I got, so I'm not really watching what they do. I just bought the A7S III and I haven't quite set it up yet. The menus and everything are very, very different. So some people were commenting on the troubles that I had with it in the vlog that I shot this week because it's not quite set up and it is very different from the other Sonys that I have. A7S III and A7R4. Dude, I love my A7R3 for the photos. The photos are ridiculous. The lens I'm using right now is a Sigma 24-70.
I don't understand, Taylor. Maybe you can explain this to me. Why the fucking battery goes dead when I have it plugged into power?
I don't know. My battery's been charging. Are you plugged into USB-C or micro USB?
USB-C.
Can't tell you because mine, I've been watching my battery go up.
Yeah, I don't understand. Maybe the power brick I'm using isn't giving it enough juice.
Oh, yeah. I have it on a 100-watt power brick.
Oh, that's probably why. I have my own like an iPad charger. So it's probably
no, I have a massive charger that I use for stuff like this because I know that if I don't, it'll die. It
lasts longer when it's plugged into this, like than it would normally, but it still dies, which pisses me off because somebody was
no
saying,
Sony Alpha 1. No, I do not have an Alpha 1.
No,
I probably won't get one.
No, I probably won't. I was considering getting one of those new
one that Potato Jet just talked about.
Yeah. Just because I really like that sound. I really like the it's their cinema line. It's the
X, yeah, I can't.
It's basically the exact same camera that I'm using, which is all the camera parts are exactly the same as the A7S III.
The body.
The body's just different, and it's got that handle that has an audio interface. You can plug XLRs directly into it and stuff, which I think is pretty nice. But then I got to really watching a bunch of reviews, and I'm like, like
FX3. Yeah.
FX3, yeah, that's what it is.
I've got a cage on my A7S III, and I've got mounts and stuff. Like, I don't need it.
Right.
This is good. I got the A7S III for vlogging. That's the only reason I got this camera, because I already had the A7R3 and the A7 III. But I needed that flip out screen for vlogging. I didn't need it. Peter was like, just vlog without a flip out screen. And I'm like, you're a maniac. I can't do that.
Dude, Peter did that for years with the fucking 1DX Mark II.
Yeah,
I don't
a maniac.
I don't know how he does it, because half the time I would be like pointing at the fucking ceiling and I wouldn't realize I was doing it.
And I watched a video Maddie did on vlogging with an A7 III. And he was like, yeah, I just, reverse and I'll stand in one place and I'll put my hand where I'm going to be and I'll set all my settings on my hand and then I'll put my face where my hand is. And I'm like, that shit doesn't work. I can't point that shit at my face.
I'd be pointing over here.
Yeah.
The framing would look like this. I'd be like over in the corner. No, I agree. I was going to get the FX3, man. I looked at it. I was thinking about it. And then I was like, it's too much like my A7S IIIs to justify the price. It's just it's the exact same camera, just with a different body.
The problem I have is that now for my 3-angle videos, I've got a top-down camera, main camera, and my C camera, and they all have different sensors. That's one of the problems I'm dealing with. Is they're all full-frame Sony cameras, but they all have different sensors, because this one is like a 12 megapixel sensor, the other one is like a 20-something, and the other one's like 43. And the colors are never even the same. Like, I go through and do the same color profiles and everything, not the same. And I'm curious to see if shooting raw with all three will fix that, and then using that color card or that color checker.
That's good.
But the problem is that this camera shoots S-Log3. The other two cameras don't have true S-Log3 because they're 8-bit, not 10-bit.
Yeah. So it's different. The color should be the same. You just can't push the colors as much when you have 8-bit. If you push the colors, you'll start getting banding and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, the colors should still be the same. You just won't be able to push the color grade as far.
So should I shoot them S-Log2 and just use the color card?
I mean, you could. I mean, the only thing difference between S-Log2 and 3 is you just get more dynamic range in S-Log3. But I mean, in a controlled environment like inside your studio where you're controlling all the lighting, that extra. I mean, right now I'm shooting in that new Cinetone shit they just released. I'm not even in a log profile. I'm gonna start using that for all my vlogging shit.
Hell yeah, it looks great for this. Like, it looks really good.
Yeah.
In fact, I did several things in today's video using that new color profile.
It's good. I got no problems with it.
Same.
Although for some reason, since I turned my camera back on, I look more red now.
No, you look the same.
Maybe it was because I was over here in the different lighting or something. But no, I've been happy with the switch to Sony though, man. I was a Canon guy for a long time, and I still like Canon. I got no problem with Canon, but I do. Somebody said red cameras.
Dude, they're more trouble than they're worth, especially for what we do.
Dude,
Hell no.
And the file size,
Hell,
so big.
yeah,
They're so big.
Dude, the fucking hard drives are like $700 or $800.
Yeah, dude, it's
and they hold like, I don't know, what is it, like 2 terabytes? But that's like 30 minutes of footage.
Yeah, dude, it's so big. and then and then it's like if you shoot in RAW, which a lot of that's what they shoot in those red cameras, then like good luck finding a computer that can edit that shit without doing all kinds of like code
and not to mention the noise. I don't know if you've ever been in the presence of a red camera.
No, I haven't.
Dude, you start it up and it's like and the fans are loud as shit. Like, nope. When I was at the YouTube space in New York, we had to. So they gave us cameras to use, and they gave us all these different Canon cameras and cinema lenses that we could use. And my group was like, "Can we shoot this on a red?" Because we were in they split us into groups when we were doing the next up thing, and I just so happened to get into a group with 3 cinematographers, like talented cinematographers, and they're like, "Can we use a red?" And I'm like, all I have is a GH4. I don't know anything about red cameras, and they're talking about like LUTs and all this other shit, and I'm like, I just switched to manual.
You're like, I was shooting in auto before. You're like, so probably not.
Yeah. So I learned a lot from being in a group with those guys. One used to be a DP for Discovery Channel. One is a filmmaker. Like, I learned a whole hell of a lot from these guys, and it's one of the reasons that I started stepping up my game. But yeah, no, the trouble they went through to shoot with that red, not worth it. I ended up using, I think it was like a C300, and that was enough trouble for me. So
Limshot just said you could put wheels on a red and watch it take off.
Dude, those things are, yeah.
I will say, have you seen the Jason Momoa red camera that's like all brass or bronze or some crazy shit?
No.
Patina. I'm just saying.
Patina.
That's all I'm saying, dog. It's hey.
My friend down the street just bought a red though. They're waiting on it to come in. The Komodo. Is that what it is?
Well, you saw Pete's most recent video, didn't you?
I didn't. No, dude. I worked.
He said after he gets through with this project, he's thinking about getting rid of his red.
5 days. Let's see. I got here at 9 this morning. So I've been here for 14 hours. This is my 5th 13 or 14 hour day this week. I haven't seen shit.
See, that Jason Momoa red is dope. Dude, it is. It's like, I think it's either brass or bronze. It's some crazy case on it that is just, I was like, oh shit, that thing.
I would much rather use the cameras I have and have cooler shit to make videos about than to spend that kind of money on a camera.
Well, yeah, dude, because reds, I mean, you get into reds, that's like a different, I mean, those are, you're talking tens of thousands of dollars.
Or sometimes hundreds of thousands.
But by the time you set them up and get all the shit, because I mean, when you buy the camera, it's like 25 grand and it's just like a box. You can't even do anything with it.
You got to buy the brain. You've got to buy V-mount batteries. You've got to buy cinema lenses. You've got to buy everything. And the cinema lenses are like $4 or $5 grand a piece.
Yeah. Oh, see, yeah, it's brass, the brass Komodo. I mean, it's dope looking. And if I just had an endless amount of money and hard drives and computers, like, you know, a Mac, one of the new Mac Pros that has like 84 cores and can edit that shit, maybe. But
see, and that's something I was talking about this with another knife YouTuber recently. They were asking about some stuff they should do, and they were asking if they should get, you know, a real camera because they shoot on an iPhone. And I was like, okay, so here's the thing. Yes, but there's a huge but. You get a nicer camera, then you're going to realize, oh, now I need a mic. and then I'm going to need something to use that mic, like to interface that mic with my computer, unless you get a USB mic, but they're not as good. So you have to, like there's always a give and take.
Yep.
So then you realize, oh, with this new camera, I kind of need a new light.
Right.
And I might need a couple of lights.
I call that the rabbit hole.
Dude, it is, yeah, it's a never ending. I called it a cascading effect because you upgrade one piece and then you're like, oh shit, this doesn't work with this. I need a better one. So then you upgrade your lights and your mic. And then you're like, oh, my computer cannot handle this anymore.
Right.
So then you get a new computer.
Yep.
And then you start just adding to it and adding to it. And somebody asked me, I think it may have been him, asked me how much I spent on video equipment in the last few years. And I'm like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. It's in the tens of thousands.
I know, and it hurts my feelings.
Okay, so for example, I moved to this new studio. There's no overhead rig here. So I needed to make one. So I bought more C-stands. And just to be able to shoot straight down on my table was almost $300.
Dude, you know what I did recently that I actually really,
Did you do the pipes?
I did the pipes. It's the way. This is the way.
I'm on a month-to-month lease here, and I don't want to be messing too much stuff up. So I got 2 more C-stands. But that, dude, I mean, it's $300 just to be able to shoot straight down.
Dude, the iron pipes was glory. I got my light right now hanging off of a light, and now I just leave it up there. When I'm done, I just kind of like fold it up into the ceiling and get it up away so I can walk under it. It's out of the way, but I don't ever take it down. When I need it, I just drop it down, put the front on. It's way better. I got a hair light up here that's not on right now, but it's just up here on the ceiling next to me.
Can I say that my hair light, I'm amazed it's still on. It's battery powered.
It is on this whole time. I don't have a hair light on the night. I don't have it on. Mine's battery powered too. It's got one of those big old fucking Sony batteries in it.
I got 2 Sony batteries in this thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, like you just start adding to it and adding to it and adding to it, and every time you add something, you're like, shit. Well, that doesn't work with this, so I need new that, and then you buy that, and you're like, well, shit. That means that I got to upgrade this, and it's just cascading. It never ends.
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
Yeah, it genuinely doesn't. I thought I was good, and then I moved in this space. I ended up buying a camera with a new lens and a cage. Now I need a new tripod.
Well,
because of the tripod that I had with my jib, I had my tripod or my jib on a tripod earlier today, and it broke my tripod. So now I need another tripod. That's $400.
Well, that's another thing. The more expensive camera equipment you get, the bigger and heavier it is. You can't use the cheap $30 tripods. You have to start buying those fucking Manfrotto $400 tripods, and then you're like, "Fun of it."
Oh, it broke my Manfrotto.
So. Oh, that's hurtful. That's hurtful. That shouldn't happen. But you know, Pete has been going through like a purge, man. He's over all the shit.
Oh, I know. He's been doing a purge on his entire life,
not just life, bro.
Everything. He sent me a picture of his wardrobe.
Yeah, he's got like 6 shirts.
6 shirts.
Yeah, he's got like 6 shirts, 3 pairs of pants. He got
okay. So here's the thing that I told Pete. He's this way now, and then in 6 months, he's going to acquire everything, and then he's going to be like, "I got to purge again."
Mm-hmm.
Well, and then he's going to purge again, and he's going to tell me about it, and then he's going to buy the stuff, and then he's going to purge again. I've known Pete for a few years now. We've been through this.
That's kind of the nature of the beast, though, right?
Yeah, it is. He made me want to purge, and now I'm purging my closet this week.
Right. You accumulate all this stuff, thinking you're going to use it all, and then as you use it, you realize the things that you really actually use and the things that you thought you would use, but you end up not using, right? So then you have a bunch of shit that's taking up space that you don't need. So then you purge all that out, and then a bunch of new shit comes out. So then you buy the new shit, and then the same thing happens. Some of it you use, some of it you don't.
I will say, of all of this stuff that I've bought, I use 95% of it. The only thing that I don't use that I bought is my gimbal. I bought a gimbal. I've used it like 4 times.
Yeah, dude, gimbals are rough, man. They're kind of a pain in the ass to use. I mean, they're indispensable.
Well, I bought a gimbal, and then all my cameras were too heavy to fit on it.
Well, now I have gimbals that I can run my cameras on, but they're finicky. You got to balance them. They're kind of a pain in the ass.
Kind of like jibs.
I don't think jibs are bad. I use my jib.
Well, is that pivot?
every
Does that pivot like make it amazing?
Oh yes.
Okay, so I'll
Yes.
get the pivot. Shit, that's another 600.
Yeah.
Actually, it's $1,000 because they got to get the V mounts for it. Because I'm not gonna run fucking 6 Sony batteries.
Here's the
on
thing,
it.
though, dude. That pivot runs off of like a Canon battery, and it runs hours and hours on that.
I don't
Canon.
have a Canon battery, so I got to get the V mount.
Yeah, but a Canon battery is like $10. A V mount's like 90. You know what I mean? Like, and it really it has the adapter already built into it, and I shot all day and didn't even use half the battery. It uses very.
But does that Canon battery power the whole thing?
No, it just powers that.
I want the V mount so that it powers the whole thing on one battery.
Well, but dude, it was like fucking $300. By the time you get the V mount adapter and the V mounts and all the things, it was like an extra $300.
Jeremy, you've already spent like $4,000 on the whole thing. What's another 300?
I know, but it just hurts.
You're talking about dropping 10 grand on a watch.
I'm talking about it. I haven't done it. In my defense,
what is another 300 on something that's going to make your life much easier?
I hear you.
We could do this all night long.
We could.
I want to go home and sleep because I've worked far too many hours this week.
It's only 11 o'clock, Taylor. This is early for us, buddy.
I'm tired. I'm going to be honest.
No, I get it, man. We can shut it down here in a minute. I get you.
I'm an old man with 2 children now. I can't stay up like I used to.
Both of my kids are at Meemaws.
I saw my kids for about 5 minutes today.
I didn't see. Well, no, I went to Buc-ee's with my kids this afternoon. I picked them up from school. We took them to Buc-ee's because they like Buc-ee's. Dude, they have Big Red ices in Buc-ee's. Have you ever had Big Red? They sell Big Red up there by you?
Like the gum?
No, the soda.
No, we have Cheerwine.
Wait. Cheerwine. Wait, is that the same thing as Big Red?
I don't know. Cheerwine is like, okay. If we're talking real talk.
Is it like red cream soda?
No. Cheerwine is like cherry flavored Dr. Pepper, but flat.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but yeah, the giveaway. He said, what the fuck giveaway?
Oh, shit. All right, we'll do one quick impromptu giveaway.
For the people that hung in, let's see how many people are still here.
Yeah.
210. That's not bad. Most of them hung in. I think we peaked out at like 300. So for you guys that hang in till the end, you reap the rewards.
Number picker, we're gonna do.
Is it US only, Taylor? Somebody asked.
No, it'll be international. Number picker's tough. There's no way for me to search.
We need to figure out how the best way to do these because I want to.
I know.
I want to do one. I'll do one next week with one of those man cards I was telling you about.
How are we going to do this real quick? I'm trying to think.
You think I've actually got a little bit of a buzz tonight, dude. This is like the first time I've gotten it all a little bit of a buzz on one of these things.
I do too.
It was because those fucking barrel proof sons of bitches I drank back to back relatively quickly. Somebody said pick a number between 1 and 215.
It's tough because everybody's going to like type in numbers really fast and it's hard to pick the first one.
He said best way, just give it to me.
All right, we'll do the number picker. I'll do 1 to 200 and go.
Did you write the number down?
Yep.
So we got 57, 84, 23, 42, 186, 77. Holy shit, 112. Fuck.
This is what I was talking about.
But you can scroll down. 134, 190, 69, 132, 78, 72, 69, 47. Holy shit.
Yep. This is why I said.
Well, just scroll through. It's quicker than me reading them all off. Just start from the top and scroll. When
nobody's guessed it yet. I'm searching for it in Chrome. So
if nobody guesses it, whoever's closest.
I don't know how to. That's gonna be tough. Just keep going until you guess it. Somebody will eventually get it. Some people have been close. Nobody's got it yet. Oh my Lord. See, this is why choosing a random number like this is tough. Nobody's guessed it yet.
I mean, you did say 1 to 200 for God's sakes. That's a lot of fucking options.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, look at this chat. It's like
Nobody's gotten super close yet. Nobody's been within 6. That's all I can really say. Somebody's within 1. Should I just give it to that person? Well, is that cheating?
Give it a second, and if nobody's closer, then I mean, if nobody gets closer, you have to go with
somebody is one number away. Lord. Actually, there are multiple people just one number away.
Uh-oh, that's where you get into the problem.
Oh, no, I'm actually past the problem because it's not loading the chat. Somebody could have guessed it already, and it's not going to load. Oh. Hello, chat. We have an issue.
It's still loading the chat for me. What's the number?
So if you scroll up far enough, it doesn't load past chat. So we have a little bit of an issue.
What do you mean? Oh, I see. It stops. But nobody had guessed it to that point, had they?
I don't think so. I don't think anybody's actually guessed it yet. Not the actual number. Paul R got the closest, but I can't scroll up and see. The number was 193.
Let's see if there's any 193s.
But I can only load so much. That did not work at all. Paul R, I think he got 192.
I'm looking to make sure
I can't scroll back far enough. That's the problem.
I'm looking to see if I see any 193.
What a cluster.
No, 193. Somebody guessed 193.
See, I'm not getting that when I search it.
It's at the bottom.
Go. Was that before or after I said it? Thomas Papa yeah, I can't say that. Yeah, I don't know.
I think that was, I feel like you had to have.
We might need to re-roll that. That was pretty bad.
193. I don't know if he said that after or before you said the number.
I don't either.
Because the chat started going so fast.
I told you, like, it's just, you can't do that. Let's re-roll, and we'll do.
Just
no, it's too fast. It's too fast.
Just do. Here's the thing: 0 to 200 was too many numbers, so nobody picked it for too long, and there was like too long of a thing that scrolled past. So just do like, let's see. I would say just do like 0 to 50, and then whoever hits it first.
All right, because 0 to 30, go.
0 to 30.
Dear Lord, this is going to be a nightmare.
0 to 30. Hold on. Oh, you can't say the number.
Somebody's going to guess it pretty quick.
That's what I'm saying. 0 to 30, somebody's got to guess it pretty quick.
Everybody's guessing high. Oh, my Lord. Oh, that's bad. I can't guess. I can't find the answer. Oh, Mick Clark. Answer was 5. Mick Clark.
So, okay. So next time we know, don't fucking say 0 to 200 because then
doing anything with that's based on comments is always very tough, especially with the live stream.
It is.
I'm pretty sure Mick Clark was the first one to get 5.
Because 0 to 0, it's got to be a smaller number so that they guess it faster. So there's not so many comments. Because you say 0 to 200, it's going to be like, and it could be like a couple minutes before anybody guesses it, and then you've got a fucking string of 80 million shits.
Just copy paste the list of people in the chat and roll from that. What we're looking at isn't the same thing you guys are looking at, and it truncates. It only loads so many at a time. So if I scroll down, it won't reload past comments. And that's the problem. So many people commented that it passed that number that it would actually load. That was the problem we ran into. So Nick Clark, you're the winner. Sorry, this was a cluster. We'll do better next time. We'll come up with something ahead of time that'll work better than this. But Mick, I will send your name over to the guys at Big Idea Design. Just DM them over on Instagram and tell them that you're the winner of both decals, one of each. That's Carry Commission and Best Damn EDC. Sorry, that was such a cluster.
And then next
I totally forgot we were doing it.
Well, next week we'll do one of the man cards. However, I've got to ship it.
Oh yeah, because it's Lord, nobody's ever gonna win it. Jesus, that's a horrible setup.
Maybe I should ship all of them back to Chad,
or ship them to me. I'm fast at shipping stuff.
Now the one caveat is it will just be the man card, right? And we could talk about it next week, but the wood box that they normally come in, these were extras we had. So there isn't the wood box and stuff. It'll just be the man card.
Somebody can have my wood box.
But then we got to ship your wood box from somewhere. But that's a clusterfuck.
If you're shipping back to Chad.
But they were hand patinaed by yours truly.
And by hand patinaed, he means he just stuck them in his pants and carried them around for a few days.
Right up under my nutsack in the hot Florida sun and let the sweat get on them and patina them up. No. Yeah, right. No, I use like an ammonia bath and stuff, but then I polished off the high bits to like bring. I spent some time on them. I spent about a good part of a day doing them. They look really costly.
Cool. Agent Costly has disagreed with me on everything tonight, except for the fact that the AMC Eagle is not ugly. You know what? I appreciate you.
My main problem with that car was the interior. It doesn't match an off-road vehicle.
The interior was amazing.
It is an amazing interior, but it looks like it should be in a luxury vehicle, not in something you're going to go mudding in.
Well, originally they weren't meant for mudding.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. But you know what I'm saying though? It's like gut that interior and put some shit that you're not afraid to get some mud on. Like a lush leather plush, like overstuffed leather interior isn't something you want when you're out in the woods, like bogging through the dirt and getting everything nasty.
But leather washes off better than cloth. So
absolutely. It's just the overstuffiness of it. I mean, I guess it'd be comfortable while you're out there bogging around. You're like riding a recliner.
No, Jeremy, you misunderstand. This is not an off-road vehicle. It's an overland vehicle. So it can go off-road, but the main purpose is for travel.
For travel.
So you got a tent on the top, you pull up to a campsite, and you go to sleep, and you get back on the road.
America.
All right. I think that's probably a good place to wrap it up. Sorry about the janky giveaway. We'll do better next time. We're out of practice. We're 3 months out of practice here, guys.
It's true.
Also,
I enjoy a good Truly.
You heard it here first.
I hate you so much.
You don't, though.
I
really don't.
I don't.
How do I get to? Let's end that and do this.
Your internet was mostly better, also, by the way.
Mostly better.
You locked up a couple times, but it could have been my feed or whatever. But we didn't have any astronomical problems, which is good.
Well, yours did the same for me.
Yeah, so I mean that could be also just StreamYard.
Yeah,
I love to gobble cock.
Whoa!
I mean, depends. If I've had enough whiskey on a Friday night and things get loose, you never know what's going to happen.
Whoa! All right, thank you guys for hanging out with us and bearing with us for the last 3 months.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Life just kind of happened.
Life happened, but we're back on the horse, and hopefully we will not have any more catastrophic family emergencies that require us to take long periods of time off.
That would be ideal.
It definitely would be ideal. Agreed. But it was fun hanging out, getting back into the swang. New vid. Somebody's asking me just real quick before we go, because we always kind of give updates before we leave.
Yeah.
I should have a leaf and barrel coming out within about the next week. And a nutsack review on the nutsack tack sack. Both of those are those are the two videos I'm currently working on. They'll be out in the next weekish. And then, like I said, I've got that drop coming up next Friday on the flasks. So keep an eye out there. If you're in Patreon, you'll get early 24-hour early jab at it. If not, it'll go live to everybody else, and I'll post it on Instagram story like I always do. And more Skull Glencairn should be in about a week too. Those fucking things sold out in like 30 minutes. I was like, holy shit, we should have ordered way more of those. The more of these guys that I was drinking out of tonight with the Skull, those are going to be something we try to keep in stock, because those are pretty easy for us to reorder. So those aren't like a limited run kind of thing. Those we'll keep in stock. So when they run out, there'll be more back in stock. So if you guys want them. So 2 videos, leaf and barrel and nutsack and flash drop and more Glens. So that's me for the next week or until the next podcast. Taylor, you?
All of that is going to take him like a month and a half, by the way. Just saying. Just putting it out. I dropped 2 videos this week, which was a challenge. It was it was a challenge. I dropped 2 videos. I did a drop of the decals, which are here. I kind of put them on here upside down. These guys. So these are on the site right now. I did a little vlog with Rick and a guy named Jamie, and then I did an EDC Weekly that was a new style. I had somebody else edit it, which sounds like it would have saved me some time, but we're going through some growing pains. No fault of hers, more of mine, because I switched cameras, computers, editing software, and everything all at the same time. That's horrible idea. Horrible idea.
It's always fun.
But yeah, in the next couple of weeks, I've got a few more things to drop. I got some more merch coming out, some shirts that I'm really excited to drop. And just videos, lots and lots of videos. There's just a VV video coming out next week. I also have a nutsack video coming up.
Nice. Are you doing the tack sack too, or are you doing something else?
I may or may not be also doing the tack sack.
No, hey man, it is what it is. I've had those for a while. We both have, and it's been one we've been meaning to do, and it's just kind of gotten backburnered. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I told Matt, I was like, it'll be one of the first things I do when I come back. And I'm now back, and you're back, and it's just gonna happen.
Hey, there's crossover. We do a lot of the same shit.
You know what we should do is you record your whole video and make your whole video, and I'll make my whole video. But we're going to find the midpoint of both of ours, cut them in half, and then send the tail ends of each video.
And
so you're just watching it, and then it's just me, and then on my video, it's just you, and then people are confused. Yeah, I think we should just fuck with people like that.
That'd be funny. People are like, what the fuck is going on?
Finish each other's sentences. Do the whole video where you finish each other's sentences. That's an idea.
That would be complicated.
That would be extremely complicated.
That would be a complicated edit.
I've had too much to drink and not enough sleep, so that's going to be it for me.
That's it. So that's it. That's all the updates. Appreciate all you guys for hanging out.
And we will see you next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with an actual podcast, not just us dicking around for 3.5 hours.
Now we just got to think of a topic for next week's podcast.
Truly.
God, fuck you.
No, we truly have to find a topic.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I thought you were trying to pull a fast one.
Truly. See you guys.
Peace, bitches. Patina. I love